I tried to break it, and I broke.
And by the way, John, how many dinners do we have to do where I say, I love the show? We've told you already. I love the show. Maybe we need to hit you in the head with a trophy for you to get it. I love the show. Let's get to it. Mason in Ireland. Your Tuesday afternoon right now.
Bah! You know, if we ever bought that lie detector that we were going to buy, and we put Morales on it, there is no way our show would not come in third in the 9-hour power block.
100%. Do you agree with that, by the way? Oh, hang on a second. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
We shouldn't be a good afternoon after our performance.
Do you agree, by the way, Morales is
What was wrong with your
show?
performance?
We lost and we only scored 3 points against the dude that was hitting behind his back and between his
Yeah,
legs.
but we scored.
Yeah, but by the way, did you watch the video that they sent of the guy they played in the pickleball?
No, I just heard he was really good.
In the
yellow
group chat.
Yellow tracksuit guy?
Yeah.
Was
You,
like
I will now
behind
know.
his
I
back.
will not criticize anyone who played in the pickleball tournament
okay.
or say anything bad
good.
about pickleball ever
Yeah,
again.
no, pickleball.
So
is popular.
I will just say, if you talk to me about the pickleball tournament, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
But
Good
I
afternoon,
do
you.
not think that Chris does not like the show. I actually talk to him about
Wait a
it
minute,
quite
wait a minute.
often.
Wait, no,
You
that
do
wasn't
not
the question.
think he doesn't.
If Morales, if we were, okay, there's a boat.
Lie detector. Okay.
No, there's a boat.
Yes.
Boat.
And there's only room for
two
two
shows.
shows in the boat.
They have to get rid of one of the shows?
And we had to go to the shows. And it was left up to Chris. I guarantee you, Greg, you're out of work, my friend. Well, maybe not. Jorge, you're out of work.
Oh,
yeah.
Greg's
Why? He could
Greg's
stay.
assistant program director, but this show is in the drink.
Well, I'm clearly out of work.
And I just got
I'm the
tired.
one that
Okay.
it comes after.
If he wants to kick off
No, he
one
dislikes
show,
me more than you. He
No,
he
took
thinks
you-
I'm a
no,
giant pain in the ass.
He took you to dinner and says,
No,
you're his bestie.
He did not take me to dinner. He took me to drinks and then invited someone else to dinner and told me to
got
get
it.
lost when
Oh,
that
I
person
didn't
showed
realize
up.
that. But he says you're his bestie.
Yeah, he just says that to make you mad.
Yeah, it does piss me
Yeah.
off.
It does piss you off. But no, I think, he would kick you guys off the boat.
We were going to have live
Well, that was
imaging-
our point.
We're
I know,
going
I
to
was
have
trying to
live
figure it out,
imaging
think about it.
Tuesday, but Morales is he's in full schmooze mode.
Yeah, he
he's-
was.
well, he's
He
at
was
the
at the thing we were at.
Yeah.
He said that he was still mad about you throwing the.
No, we'll get over it.
I'm sure he is.
Get over it. We've all moved on.
We have all.
We've all moved on.
But I'm sure Chris will bring it up 100 more
Yeah.
times.
It'll
this
be at
year.
the
Why would he
Mandy's,
do that?
probably.
He's never done anything like that
Yeah.
before and bring things up and try and drag it to death.
Yeah, it'll be at the Mandy's this year. We'll
Hey,
see.
nice jacket, by the way.
I actually
Hey,
like.
I like it.
I told Mace.
I like that jacket.
I
too.
like this jacket a lot more than the puffy vest.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I would wear that
puffy vest.
jacket.
Stay puffy,
the
my friend.
The puffy vest is Nerdville, but
Yeah,
that's
it
a
is.
cool jacket.
Yeah, no. I thought
That's a strong one. It's better than the one you were wearing yesterday.
And by the way, it was
I was
also
wearing a hoodie yesterday.
No,
it
it was
was
something that your
also
mom
very
got you.
appropriate for today's weather. It was a monsoon at USC.
Man, and I parked illegally.
Did-
I
okay.
don't know how to
Did
get
you
into
have
the
did you
Galen
have trouble finding
Had
your
trouble
car
finding
afterwards?
My car. I knew which side of Galen Center was on. It's raining. I don't know where I parked. I'm clicking the button. I mean, it's
Drop a
standard.
pin.
Yeah.
Shut up.
I could drop a
simple.
pin and then I would just not be able to find the pin.
Drop a pin. Hate that. So
It just tells you where to go, Mace. I'm not seeing the difficulties. Here.
So I was at the Starbucks today downstairs, and there were not one, but two people that had their dogs wearing people clothes. So one was wearing a dress. I assume that was a girl dog. I'm assuming. The other one
You don't
was
know that.
wearing like a little bow tie suit. And I'm like, why would you do that to your dog? Why dress your dog in
We used to
people
work.
clothes?
We used to work with somebody who had a fetish about this. show,
Dave
remember?
Joseph.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dave Joseph, and then he would send us pictures of his 4 dogs all dressed
It was
like
ridiculous.
people. And I felt so bad for those dogs. The only time prior to that I'd ever seen a dog dressed up is one day Mason and I, we were doing a 24-hour remote
Oh, I remember
in Anaheim
this.
Stadium, and Mason brought his dog. Which dog was that?
That was Hollis.
All right, so that's how long ago this was.
Yeah.
And some nut job lady fan, it was really fun because we were out there for 24
and she was
hours.
a great fan.
She said, "Can I play with your dog?" And Mason goes, "Yeah, I'm on the air. Sure, go take him for a walk." And she takes the dog and comes back, and the dog is in a full sweater,
Yeah.
like that was made for a dog.
Yeah, ridiculous.
And I'm like, that poor Hollis.
hated it. Hollis hated it.
And you're like, lady, I told you could take the dog for a walk, and you
Yeah.
gave him a full makeover.
yeah,
What
it's
the hell?
It's ridiculous. Don't do that to your poor dogs. I look at those people and I say, you've gone too far. And by the way, I've gone pretty far, but you've gone way too far. So World Baseball Classic last night. What a cool game that was. The walk-off bases clearing double that gave Japan the win over Mexico. Jorge, did you see it?
The final, yeah.
Yeah, the final. What's that?
inning.
I know your
For
team
10 grand,
lost,
yeah.
but you had
Up to
mythical
10 grand.
money on
Yeah.
it. Yeah, but you've got $300,000
Exactly.
in
Just
mythical
10 grand,
money.
10 grand.
I thought it was just a great game. Bergman, you were never on the World Baseball Classic. You always thought it was going to be stupid. When did you realize that it's going to be good?
I think I started to watch. This last game was incredible.
Yeah, it was amazing.
But it did take me a while because I was watching a lot of the games. Maybe it was just the games I was watching. They were slow and boring, but a lot of them had been really, really good. I just didn't happen to see those games. This game last night was fantastic. Fantastic. And to see like Japan getting all excited and going crazy and Randy Arozarena just playing up to the crowd and doing all that, it was fantastic. It was really, really good.
So
and I'm in.
4 o'clock today is the final?
4 o'clock today, FS1.
Okay.
So here was the walk-off call by Joe Davis on FS1 last night.
Crept in the air, deep center field. Thomas on the move. It's off the wall. Ohtani's in to score. Here comes the winning run. Japan turns it around on its last breath.
By the way,
that's such a great call.
Joe Davis is so good in big moments.
He is really good.
Just I mean, I think he's like 30.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's just
he's a kid.
35.
Is he 35 now?
35, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, boy, he's good.
Like he's Sean McVay age. Here, by the way, is the Japanese call.
Sayonara.
It sounds like they had like 5 people in the booth.
I love it, though.
That was a great call.
Yeah, I love calls like that.
Great call.
Where everybody comes out of their shoes.
The amazing thing about Joe Davis is, Bergman pointed this out today. So he's the guy that replaced Joe Buck, who has been great
at Fox Network.
He's the guy who slid into Vin Scully's chair with totally comfortable and completely loved and accepted. He is a really, really great broadcaster.
Yep.
The thing I like, too, is he knows when to lay out, let the pictures talk. I just am one of the nicest guys you're going to meet. But Bergman, I would say he's the state-of-the-art, prototypical, great baseball announcer.
He has been fantastic every single time, and he just keeps getting better and better and better. You're right. I love when he lays out at the end of the calls, like that home run call or the game-ending call.
Yep,
he laid out right at the end of that.
We didn't have it,
but he laid out. That was it. The Randy Arozarena catch that he had, he laid out at the end of it.
So Ireland, you cannot lay out because you're doing radio. TV, you can lay out.
You can lay out a little bit.
Yeah,
yeah.
When was the last big layout you had? By the way, laying out means just shutting up.
Yeah, probably when Kobe walked off the court.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then
just letting the crowd do the story.
Well, or you can say, listen to this place.
Yeah.
And then, they'll just go.
Yeah.
But how long do you think Joe Davis stays as the Dodger announcer?
Long as he wants.
Forever.
Right. But I mean, like, if he's doing all these other things, he's doing really well at football. So
yeah,
eventually,
he's doing good football.
Eventually, he's going to take over that, maybe the Super Bowl when it's on Fox again.
The answer to your question is it depends how much he wants to work. I mean, Marv Albert has a book called I'd Love to, but I Have a Game.
Yeah.
Because every time over Marv Albert's career, somebody said, hey, we're going to Italy, or hey, we're going to dinner. Hey, I'm getting married this weekend.
Yes.
I'd love to, but I have a game.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of Joe deciding where his priorities are in life. He's married. He's got kids.
Yeah.
He's little kids, and so. But I think the difference between Joe and most other play-by-play guys like me is he's going to decide when he goes.
Yeah.
Somebody's not going to. He's that good.
Oh, you'll decide when you
go. Well, we were talking about today at this platform today.
Yes.
I think you were the only one who disagreed. I was with Money when he said this. Money goes, all of us up here are getting fired at some point.
Yeah.
We're going to say something, and we're all getting case. So he goes, the goal is hang in as long as you can before the moment comes. But I agree with them. I think they normally always tell you when you're done. I don't think that'll happen to Joe.
I don't think it'll happen to me.
We'll see.
Do you think it will?
I don't know. I think it'll happen to me. I can only speak for myself. I think they'll tell us when I'm done.
You don't think you'll say, I'm done?
No. I think that somebody will. I always compare these jobs to surfing.
Yeah.
You're on a wave.
Yeah.
You're surfing it.
Yep.
And then one day you throw a trophy up against the wall and you're fired. And then you just live with it and you say, I had a great run. The wave was great and it crashed.
Well, yeah.
I think you guys are connected. When one of you leaves, the other will leave.
Completely agree.
So
if one of us
hope
goes,
so.
and if one of you
we're
stays, the other one stays. I don't think it's so. It's really up to you.
It's a joint
two.
decision,
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
hope
guys
so.
are the institution.
Either
of
we're
Los
both
Angeles.
here or we're
But
both
you know
gone.
what was interesting? We
It's
were
not
talking.
Mason and Ireland without Mason.
No,
and
you can't
Ireland.
do one.
We
or the
were
other.
talking to Evan Cohen today, who's from New York, and we were saying how Petros and Money and Mason and Ireland probably wouldn't work in New York.
No.
Because in New York, Bergman, you couldn't work in New York because they're caller driven all the time.
I mean, I'd have to adjust.
And they yell and scream, and it's vent radio
Right.
in New York. Here, if the Dodgers lose or the Lakers lose, I said this at the thing, people just go to Katsuya.
Well, yeah, it's like, damn, that sucks. What's your favorite fast food restaurant? I mean, that's
You want to go down to Malibu? We'll go to Nobu.
Yeah,
we'll just kind
right.
of hang out a little bit.
I gotta leave. Seventh inning tie game. I got reservations in Nobu. I gotta go.
all right. Coming up next.
Want to miss the traffic?
Coming up
Yeah.
next, I got some Laker stuff.
More true.
I got some Laker stuff coming up next.
Good, because I want to make sure Laker fans are paying attention to something. I'm pretty sure they're not, but I'll share it with you coming
Okay,
up.
that's coming up next. Mason and Ireland, 7-10.
For that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason and Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
Hey, it's raining mostly.
Yeah, don't go get in your car unless you have to.
So I'm watching Dallas Reigns last night, former backup
What's his
quarterback
name, Greg?
for Florida
Real
State.
name? Dallas
Kevin
Reigns?
Feinstein.
Yeah.
Kevin Feinstein
Dallas
or
Reigns, and
Feinstein,
he's
depending
talking-
on
And he
how
never
which
played
one
at
be.
Florida State.
We have multiple atmospheric rivers coming now. No, don't they keep inventing new weather terms?
I think so.
I never heard of an atmospheric river until this
We'll have
year.
to ask Ramona. You know, that's Ramona's dream job. She wants
Yeah.
to be a weather girl.
Yeah. Juan would love to be a weather guy.
He could do it.
He could do it. Yeah, he could do it.
Juan's kind of got the look. He could
went-
do it. He could do it.
He did a class at Penn State, a class online to be a weather guy, and
Sure
he-
wasn't
he
Mississippi
graduated.
State. Mississippi State's the one that offers
Penn State-
online meteorology
Penn State's
degrees.
the other one.
Okay.
Penn State and Mississippi State are where most weather people
Watch.
Storm
Exactly.
watch. So
It's raining. Stay in.
Came across some good Lakers stuff here. First of all, what were you going to say about the
Okay.
Lakers?
Do Laker fans understand? I think most
No
Laker
is the answer.
Yeah.
okay, most Laker fans assume
not really.
that worst case scenario they're in the play-in.
Right.
That's not true. They're in 11th place right now.
Yep.
And all of these other teams are playing well. Like Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City just beat Phoenix. They play the Clippers here tonight.
Yep.
And they play the Lakers on Friday. You got to win that game.
Yeah.
The Lakers probably have to win tomorrow.
2 against Utah, who is 1.5 game behind, or not?
And they had
percentage points behind.
They had a huge win last night.
Yeah.
All the teams ahead of the Lakers are winning. So if you if you have the attitude they'll be fine, you're not paying attention.
Yeah.
You got to watch and get into these games starting tomorrow night against Phoenix, Friday night against OKC, Sunday in Chicago. Then we got 5 in a row on the road. Now the last one is a Clipper game. So it's really 4 in a row on the road, and then a road team against the Clippers. And then after that, 2 games, and we're done.
Yeah.
The rubber has met the road. This is the guy who never likes to use the term must win. This is past must win.
Every one of them. Every one of them.
Yeah, they got it. These games are the playoffs have started, is what I'm trying to tell you. So get into it.
So LeBron is doing everything he can to get back on the court. And one of the things he's doing is this German thing called plasma treatment.
Yeah, Kobe used to do it.
So my understanding is what they do is they take your own blood, then they spin it around. PRP, and then it gets more red blood cells. Then they put it back in, and it's supposed to help the heat. Do I have a reasonable understanding of it?
Like, perfect.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
for sure?
that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Are you surprised, Bergman, I got that right?
Not at all.
Yeah.
You did your reading.
Now,
I read the article.
LeBron will not. LeBron's not joining any media because he's hurt. But Dennis Schroeder was talking to somebody, and he said, these German doctors work miracles.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if he went all the way to Germany. He used to have to go all the way to Germany. I think you can get it done in Mexico.
Yeah, I think you can get it done here, can't you?
Maybe.
There's
but
nothing illegal
I don't think
about
LeBron had to go to the other side of the world. I think Kobe did back in the day.
Right.
But I think now it's a little more convenient.
And he's hanging out in his cryo chamber.
Yeah. Well, he's got all that stuff. Darvin said yesterday or Sunday that he'll come back at some point. Maybe for those last 2 games. Remember, I just set up the schedule. We've got home games now. He's not going to play in any of those.
Right.
Then we do the 5 on the road, and then 2 to end it at Crypto.com on the final weekend. By the way, 2 tough games. Phoenix.
Yep.
With Durant at that point, and Utah on the last game of the season.
Which could be for everything.
When it might mean everything. I think that's what you circle if you're a Laker fan and you're looking at LeBron. Can he make it back for that final weekend, Phoenix, Utah?
Is there any scientific evidence that cryo works?
No. And here's the interesting thing.
None? Because I go there once a week. I keep thinking it's going to do something for me. Am I just wasting my money?
You are not. And here's why. I've asked doctors, I've asked other people, they say there's no medical evidence that it works. But what it undeniably does is it helps with inflammation.
Right.
And as you get older, like you did it this weekend, you played pickleball.
I did.
Okay. Are you still sore?
Yes. I know, not so much today. I was really sore yesterday. I'm bouncing back.
Had you gone in yesterday,
yeah.
And this is the way I explain cryo to people that I made my mom do it once when she was really sore, and
really?
she hated it.
I
she wouldn't get in the chamber. She only did the one where your legs stick out the bottom and your head sticks out the top.
That's baby. That's baby cryo.
Yeah, I'll only do the chamber. I think that's a waste of money.
Oh yeah.
Doing
How
the
long
half.
did you go in the chamber?
3.
3 minutes. What song do you pick?
Always Middle of the Road by the Pretenders.
Okay. I have an exact...
Because it has drums. You need something to drum to.
So I've got an exact 3-minute song.
Yeah.
It's Les Miserables, end of Act 1. That's what I listen to.
Well, see, do you
one day
do you
more,
play,
another day, another
do you
destiny.
play guitar and drums when you?
No,
I'm moving the whole time.
Around. I know every word of it,
right.
So I'm singing.
You have to put on a performance in there because if you just stand still, you'll freeze your ass off. But what I do is I face this way, then I turn left, then I turn to the back.
Another day, another destiny.
Wait, who sang this in the movie? Hugh Jackman, right?
Yeah.
Don't pick one of the Russell Crowe songs because he can't sing.
These men who seem to know my crime will surely come a second time. One day more, I did not live.
That's the thing that stood out to me about the movie Les Mis.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. I thought Hugh Jackman was great. I thought Anne Hathaway killed it.
Yeah.
And the director, do you know who directed it?
It was Tom Hooper.
He believed strongly that the actors needed to sing their own songs.
Oh, yeah.
And that included Russell Crowe.
The legendary musical icon Russell Crowe.
Who cannot sing.
Not a bit.
And so I was sitting there going, I paid money to see Russell Crowe sing. Like Amanda Seyfried could sing. She was good. Anne Hathaway could sing.
won the Oscar, yeah.
Yeah, but that was the one thing about Les Mis. And I'm Broadway John. It's tough for me not to like a musical. I'm like, I could sing that song better than Russell Crowe. He played Jobert, remember?
Oh, Javert.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Those girls roll their eyes at me when I say, okay, end of Act 1, Les Miserables. It's exactly 3 minutes. It's perfect.
Is it called End of Act 1?
One day before the storm.
I don't feel like this is a cryo song.
Yeah, I don't either. I think you're missing.
It's too slow.
Like play, hey Jorge, play "Middle of the Road" by the Pretenders.
Yeah. No,
See, so the reason you want a song that has good drums,
Yes.
is then the whole time you can just pretend like you're playing drums, and the colder you get, the faster you drum.
Yes.
And then in 3 minutes is up.
Yeah.
And then you're out.
It's a great. I mean, your choice is great. I just happen to know all the words to that song.
See, no,
That's not bad. That's not middle of the road.
I was about to say, I don't know, Ireland.
yeah. Yeah,
Is
no,
that
that's
is
it. You
middle
got
of the road? I went back to Ohio and my city was gone.
No.
That's not.
Middle of the Road
That's
is
a
a
Pretender
huge
song.
hit song, but this. No, this isn't it.
This
either.
isn't either.
All right, here, I'll play it.
It's a live version.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
Was
lot.
it called? Was it called Middle of the Road?
Middle
Yeah.
of the Road by the Pretenders?
But the
Jorge's just playing random songs. Let me just mess
well,
with
he's
these
got
guys.
control of the DJ
Yeah,
booth.
yeah.
Well, he went into YouTube and he typed in drums.
That's it. Just drums.
The
That might have been it. No, you're just messing around now. Okay, we'll bump back with Middle of the Road when we
Okay.
come back.
all right.
Jorge's got to have time to figure it out.
This is
There it is.
See, so this has drums. Turn this up. Are we on YouTube today?
Yeah.
You can tell I can't drum.
Yeah.
And see, this keeps you moving.
Good cryo song.
Yeah.
Good cryo song. By the way, the one thing about cryo I noticed, and tell me if this is true, it makes me hungry all day.
No,
like,
but
I'm
it-
super hungry all
so
day
what
long.
I tell people about cryo is you're sore when you go in,
Yep.
and you're not when you come out.
Yeah.
That's the best way to explain it.
Yeah, 'cause
it would have been perfect for you to do yesterday, the day, or Sunday, the day after the
The other
pickleball
one I
trip.
want to do a stretch lab. They
were here
stretch
one
you
day.
out. Yeah, I know.
Did
When
you
are they-
do it, Bergman, when they
I
were
did.
here?
I did. It was
Yeah.
great.
And what do they just grab you and stretch?
Yeah, they just pull
Is
your
it one
arms and
person
pull your
job or
legs.
multiple person
You
job?
kind of do it already. It's basically all your yoga moves, but you have somebody helping you in, so it stretches you a little bit further.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did it before the pickleball tournament. I'm still sore, but it helped. I'm sure I would be more sore if I didn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they're an advertiser. We like them.
I gotta pick up
Oh,
all
I
the
still liked
cards
it.
from that I dropped.
Pick up all the carts. You realize it's only, we were talking about World Baseball Classic, it's only 9 days until baseball season now.
Yeah, because right when the NCAA tournament ends, the baseball season starts.
Baseball.
You know, it's unbelievable how many times
We hit
Jorge
the same
and I
buttons.
hit exactly the same button at exactly the same time.
I just want to tell you both good luck. We're all counting on you.
Oh, that-
Baseball.
That was a random one.
Yeah, that was
That was a random.
James Earl Jones still with us, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Weird story about James Earl Jones.
Stuttered?
Stuttered.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah. Worked his way through a stuttering thing.
People will come, Ray.
God, I was flipping channels last night and watched Bull Durham. That is a great minor league baseball movie. That is
It is.
just awesome.
It is exactly what minor league baseball's about. All right. I didn't. Excuse me. That was me. Sorry about that. All right. Let's do. Okay, I know you're going to yell at me for breaking early, but I'm going to break early because I have.
No, Amanda
I'm
already
completing a
said.
thought.
It was 6 minutes early. What was the problem? It wasn't that
Amanda's
it's early.
already said she doesn't care about the middle segments. You only have to break on time at the end of the hour,
Yeah, 'cause
regardless of what Greg
There's
says.
a flow to
No,
things.
that's
Is
right.
it okay to go to break now?
Yes.
Okay,
of course
well,
it is.
and then we'll do Wheel of Questions.
But you do have to
coming
do
up next.
Jacob Imrani.
Oh, let me tell you about Jacob.
Jacob's coming in
Imrani.
today.
He is coming in.
He actually tweeted that he's talking trash now. He tweeted that he's coming in here to kick all our butts in
Well, can I
game
tell
of
you-
games. Did you do a game that's like tailored to Jacob?
No.
Oh, good.
It is, but it is a name is your buzzer game, which Jacob hates.
Excellent.
Can't wait
I'm-
for him to roll his eyes.
Bergman and I are
"Gee."
great at Name Is Your Buzzer.
He
Yes,
will-
we are.
He will not be kicking anyone's ass. But right now it's raining, and we got atmospheric rivers and all that stuff, and there's rain all over the place, and accident rates triple when it rains. I mean, 3 times as many accidents when it rains as when it does. All right, here we go.
Hey,
yeah.
okay, I was hoping this one would come up.
Okay.
All right, here we go. I'm going to give you each, you, Greg, you, Jorge, you, Mace, $3,000.
Okay.
Okay? Here's the caveat. You have to spend $1,000 each on each person who works on this show. So in other words, Mace, you have to spend $1,000 on me, $1,000 on Jorge, $1,000 on Greg. What would you do with the money? Now, I'll go first to give you guys some time to think about what you would do with it. Okay, so, Jorge, for you, I would call Brenda and I would say, I want to, because I know how much you love food and how much you love to cook. And I would say, Brenda, I need you to come with me to Whole Foods for an hour, and I would stock your kitchen with $1,000 worth of stuff that you can either eat or cook, and I thought you would appreciate that a lot. What do you think?
Oh, me? That I love to cook?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's a good use of the $1,000 for you.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mace, you're the easiest.
Yeah. What do I need?
$1,000 gift certificate to MedMen.
Damn. No, we'll use that up fast.
Now, Greg,
gift card.
yours is the one that I had to put the most thought into because it's a good idea, but the execution is hard. Okay. So I know that the most important thing to you in the world is your daughter, Riley.
Mm-hmm. Not even close.
So I want to take Riley on a shopping spree with $1,000, but I know that's weird. If she's met me, but she doesn't know me.
Right.
So I would call Jan and bring her with the caveat that Jan doesn't get any of the money for herself.
She doesn't
which
need
I
it.
think she'd be okay with.
She would be totally fine with that.
And then we just style out Riley, and when Riley got home, I would walk in with Jan, Riley, and Riley would have bags of stuff.
That would be awesome.
And you would go, first you'd be mad at me like, what have you done? And then you'd go, I took her on a shopping spree, and I think you'd be okay with it. What do you think?
Yeah, no, absolutely. That'd be perfect. Riley would go nuts for it, too.
Okay. All right. So, Bergman, you got to spend $1,000 on Jorge, $1,000 on Mace, $1,000 on me.
All right, so Mason is pretty easy. Well, you know what? I would spend probably about $300 to $400 of it on hoodies.
Oh, that's nice.
Good. High-end hoodies. That's a good use of that.
Do a little bit of some nice Viore sweatpants for another $200.
Oh, yeah. Okay, good.
And then have to promise not to give him crap if he wears them to work.
Sure, absolutely, because it would all look together. They would all work.
Right.
And then the rest of it would go somewhere between donuts and weed.
Okay.
All right.
That's very good.
Yeah. So, John, I think I'm going to spend all $1,000 in one place for you.
Okay.
That whole thing is going to go to something, some kind of treatment, some kind of gummy, whatever it happens to be, the best type, something that can get you to sleep.
That's an excellent gift.
And so at some point, that's what we do.
Yep, that's
All
good.
right,
What about
so
for Jorge?
For Jorge, I'm going to split it up. $500 is going to go to Maite. She's going to do the same type of thing, whatever she wants. Then it's going to go to the other. I'm going to spend a good amount of it, so probably about another $300 to $400 on a nice camera or something to do with camera work, to editing systems, something along those lines.
Oh, so you'd have like a home editing thing.
Yeah, a little bit more home editing, and then the rest of it goes.
You
to
need
tequila.
to check the prices of home editing equipment.
I might have to
Right?
cut.
grinding up, man.
It's like just
Well,
to get in
something
the
like
door.
a camera, something that has,
You get a lens cover for the camera.
and then the rest of it goes to tequila.
All right.
Oh, nice.
Jorge, what do you got?
Okay, for you, John, I want to upgrade your massage chair.
Oh, that's
Get your
great.
massage chair.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you.
For Mason, I'll buy Bergman's Peloton and drive it over to your
There
place.
you go. I'll take it.
And for Bergman, I want to do something for Riley, and then somebody to take care of his dog for the rest of the year.
Pay the
somebody
dog walker.
Somebody to walk
That's
his
it.
dog.
No, Greg, that's a good gift.
That's a good gift, dog walker.
All right,
you go.
Mace, what do you got?
Okay. For Jorge, I'm going to buy season tickets to LAFC.
Oh, nice.
That's excellent.
For
Really good.
Bergman, I'm going to renew your Peloton subscription.
Why would you do that?
No, he sold it already. You own it.
I already sold it.
You own it.
No, I'm trying to.
You're trying. And for Ireland, I know what John loves more than anything. Straight cash money.
That is the best answer. I'm touched. That warms my heart. That is the best answer, by the way. You guys, I don't know if everybody was listening, but one time we cornered Lindsay Theory.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mason and I both got invited to Lindsay Theory's wedding.
Yes.
And we I got her something off her registry, these floating candles that she wanted, and
like
for
a
her living room.
votive, whatever that is.
And Mason gave her cash.
Yes.
So this is back when we used to have, Lindsay was the Rams reporter back then. I think she's doing the Chargers now. But back then, right after she got married.
That was a demotion, right? She went from Rams to Chargers. I think she got
It's a
bumped
demotion
down.
in our eyes because we have the Rams games.
Yes,
but,
yes.
So we asked her, we said, you have to tell us which gift you appreciated more, and we're not letting you off the air until you answer. And she tried to nod, and she goes, no, John, I'm looking at the candles. They're beautiful right now. I said, I know they're beautiful. I bought them.
Mm-hmm.
If I gave you a choice, the candles or $1,000, what do you want? She goes, give me the money.
Give me the money. You can never
It is
go
a
wrong.
myth. It is a myth. Amanda.
Boss Amanda's here.
If you got married and I bought you something off your registry and Mason gave you cash for the same amount, what would you appreciate more?
The cash.
Yeah. I mean, this is a myth.
Why even have a registry?
I agree, especially when you get to a certain age. I feel like you should
100%.
have one.
Don't they call? There is a
I would
thing
like
now.
to end the stigma, and you know where it comes from? It comes from like people like my mom. It's
Olden-timey people, yeah.
It's insensitive for you to just give money. That means you didn't put any thought into it. Wrong.
Yeah.
The thought is you can better determine what you need than I can.
Yeah, my friends Matt and Kate, when they got married last year, they had something called a honey pot, and you were just supposed to give money. They were honest about it. They were just
love that.
Yeah, give us cash. Whatever you can give us, give us.
That's exactly what Carlo did for his wedding.
Oh, did he do that?
He just gave cash for the house that he wants to buy.
Yeah.
So it all went to that.
Very smart.
One of my proudest moments. I outspent Mason in the Carlo House Fund.
So sucks.
And because if Mason would have found out, I should have just told you because you would have given him.
I would have given him that plus one more dollar. Yeah, what'd you? You doubled me, I think.
Yeah, you gave $250 and I gave him $500.
Yeah. Boy, I am
Wow,
cheap.
you owe him $250 and 1 cent.
And 1 penny. Yeah.
No, but I did screw that up because we're so competitive that if I would have told Mason, hey Mace, I just gave Carlo $500.
I would have given
he would have given him
501.
501.
Yeah, 501.
So it was me that cost Carlo $250.
What's Cappy doing here so early today?
It's Tuesday. He drove
He
he's
came
avoiding the traffic
from South Los Angeles.
Yeah, he's avoiding the.
Cappy, you got business calls and whatnot.
Well, I got to say that the traffic was going to be so bad and the rain was so torrential.
Yep.
That I just decided, you know what? I better just get going.
Smart move, Cap.
And dude, the rain is like nothing that I've ever seen in 22 years of living in Southern California.
I told Jason Barrett, we were at that radio conference at USC, and I told Jason Barrett, Jason's not from here.
Right.
I said, you literally picked the rainiest day of 2023 so far.
Right. I mean, he brings all these people in from all over the country. They're in this industry thinking, hey, we're going to L.A. The weather's going to be great. I'm escaping what's going on in the Midwest.
I'm going to stay at Shutters. Right. I'm going to the beach.
Dude,
but it raises a really interesting point, which is where are my Viore pants that you keep?
You told me you were going to give me an order, and I was going to order it for you. You didn't do that.
Oh yeah, I'm legit going to do it. You can't get me my own deal.
Legit. It's just too much work for me.
Even though you said you would get me a deal.
Correct.
Yeah.
But now it's just too much work.
You got to appreciate him being honest.
That's one of the things I'm going to do on the show today. Is I'm going to pick out a Viore package.
I'll bet Boss Amanda would like some stuff too.
Yeah.
I would love some, yes. Cappy and I talked about this a while ago. He gave me some code, but it didn't work.
Yeah, my code didn't work either.
I don't get it.
I don't know.
Works for everybody else.
Hey, Amanda, give us your opinion, and I don't have to tell you to be honest. You always are. How did we do at the thing?
I thought you guys were great.
Yeah.
You even kissed my ass.
Yes.
No, I didn't. I meant that.
I did.
I meant that.
I meant that too.
Did you like that?
No, I complimented Amanda because I told a story that Amanda told me once that some guy called Amanda and was complaining that I've been listening to Mason in Ireland for an hour and they haven't talked about the Lakers yet. What the hell is wrong with them? And Amanda's response was, well, why were you listening for the whole hour then? And he goes, because I like those guys. I like that show. She goes, thanks very much.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's the whole point. Whether you
Exactly.
like it or not, you're listening. That's what matters.
Amanda went off on some guy today on Twitter, but it was short and sweet.
Oh, yeah? How'd it go?
I thought I taught you to
No.
stop
It was
doing
not.
that.
It was not. I didn't
It's
go
beneath
after him.
you.
It was kind of meant as like he was like, talking poorly about the pickleball tournament.
He was knocking the pickleball tournament. He said he'd rather go see like a middle school basketball game
At the
because
YMCA.
Right,
Oh,
everybody
F him.
was so utterly unathletic and everything else. And so he said something, and Amanda was like, "Well, go have fun at the YMCA, Jack."
Yeah.
One time I called Amanda. She was arguing with an egg. With a
Oh yeah, no,
Twitter
I knew
egg.
who he was.
And
Like I was doing it on purpose.
I called her and I literally went, "What are you doing?" She goes,
I'm
"I
entertaining.
knew."
I'm
She goes-
entertaining myself.
She goes, "I knew right away while you were calling." She goes, "I'm having fun."
Yeah.
Bergman, I see you fighting with eggs. You do go at it.
Really?
especially
You fight with eggs?
With
I don't fight with
hashtag
any
Lakers
eggs.
Twitter. You go
I
at
don't-
it with
I don't
hashtag
fi-
Lakers
no.
Twitter.
Oh,
I
by
don't
the
do
way,
that.
Greg, you spewed false information yesterday. Some guy got on you and you said, "I can't believe you guys are talking about trading Anthony Davis," and you said, "We've never talked about." Mason's been talking about trading Anthony.
No,
Davis
I know, but
for a year.
that conversation that we had yesterday about Anthony Davis was not about trading Anthony
No.
Davis. It was about what was going on and what the issues that he was having were. So he was wrong in that sense. It was Joel B. And he that's
Not that I.
not that I pay
Yeah.
attention to that stuff, but yeah, no, he was just wrong in that sense.
See,
We've
I don't
talked
care
about
about
that
next
before.
year. I care about the next 10
Right.
days.
The
And by the way,
conversation was about
there
this
is
year.
some interesting Anthony Davis stuff that's floating around. Have you seen this?
And by the way, I think Anthony Davis, including guys like Mason. See, I'm Team AD. I think he's a unique talent that I hope he's here for the rest of his career.
yeah, he was unique Friday night against Dallas. Very unique.
Yeah, but Mace, am I not right in saying this? He could win you over if he carries the Lakers into the postseason in the next 10 games.
They will go as far as Anthony
Right.
Davis can carry
It's
them.
not, no matter what you think. I know a lot of people are ripping on AD. I'm telling you, this guy is. I don't know if everybody knows this. Anthony Davis, when he was a sophomore in high school, was 6'1".
Right.
So he's got ball handling skills. He can bring the ball up. He can guard guards. He can guard all 5 positions. Blah blah blah. And so really good. He's the best defender on the Lakers.
Yeah.
And he doesn't get a lot of credit for that. But even you guys that are all calling me and tweeting me and ripping him, I think are all of the mind
Yeah.
that if AD without LeBron carries the Lakers to the postseason, then everybody's going to be straight with him. Everybody's good. I think he can
Yeah,
win.
if they make the
right?
playoffs,
You're in that
If they
anti-AD
make the
camp.
playoffs, it's because of AD. If
Right.
they miss the playoffs, it's because of AD.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I know. 710 ESPN.
Don't miss Travis Lee.
Live from LA.
Exactly. Stay puffy, my friend, as Jorge said yesterday. So, okay, you want one that pisses me off?
Sure.
Okay, Jovan Buha tweets this. Darvin Ham will not confirm that Anthony Davis will be available for the Lakers back-to-back against Utah and the Clippers in early April. He said the Lakers have a plan and they're sticking to it. Are you effing kidding?
Well, you know why? Because Darvin got burned before when he said, it's my understanding that it's all hands on deck where everybody's playing in all the back-to-backs. Then the front office came down and said, no, AD's not playing in Houston. And Darvin then came off looking bad.
But you think
so now he's covering. He's giving himself political
there's a chance
cover.
that AD will not play that Clippers game, which is the second night of a back-to-back, while they are in a scrap to get into the playoffs or maybe to get into a playoff position?
It depends on, are they already in? Are they already out? If they're out, there's no...
Well, there's no reason.
Yeah, there's no reason to play them. If they're in, is there a reason to play them?
They're improving their position, right? In other words, they may be playing for a home game in the play-in as opposed to a road game.
That's the third to the last game of the year. So I think it's going to depend on where they are in the standings at the time of the game. But I think it's a possibility that AD plays in that game.
Okay, so this is let me hit the Seinfeld. Yesterday, Artie Moreno, the owner of the Angels, and last night, by the way, if you did not see it, it was an unbelievably exciting finish to the World Baseball Classic as Japan came from behind with 2 runs in the ninth to beat Mexico. And Artie Moreno was asked yesterday in his availability about Shohei Ohtani. Now,
I think this was a few days ago. He made himself available to the media for the first time in 2 years.
Okay.
Nick Manazian does media. Obviously, the on-field guys, the manager and the players, do media.
Yep.
Artie has not done media for a couple of years, but he agreed to do it 2-3 days ago, and that's what you're reading from.
Yes, okay. So let's credit Sam Blum. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to read the question.
Okay.
Read Artie's answer, and then have you answer the way you think he should have answered.
Okay.
Okay. So first question, fans are not pleased that you were not going to sell the team, disappointed when you changed your mind. He says, I don't have any social media, but you always have a vocal minority that's not going to be happy no matter what.
I would say, I would have answered it this way.
Okay.
I would say, if you think the fans are frustrated that we haven't made the playoffs in 7 or 8 years, you can only imagine how frustrated I am. I cannot live with myself unless I try and fix this. And I think I'm uniquely qualified. I know who's here. I know who needs to do better, starting with me. And that's why I'm not selling the team. It's because we have failed. And I don't feel like I can walk away from this until I have it moving in the right direction.
See, you should have coached up Artie Moreno.
Here's the problem.
That's a great answer.
Here's the problem.
Yeah.
Artie Moreno is, and we've all worked for guys like this.
Yep.
Artie Moreno is independently wealthy. He has, as you and I like to say, FU money.
Right.
And no one can tell Artie what to say or do.
Right.
He could have called me, and I would have told him that. That doesn't mean he's going to do it. Now, what's the next question?
He was asked on Shohei Ohtani's abilities. He said, he's arguably the most unique player, probably one of the top 5 or 10 players.
Oh, no.
Top 5 or 10.
Did he really say that?
He said top 5 or 10 players. What in the name of God is he thinking?
All right, this is how you answer that question. One of the reasons why I'm excited about the possibility of us turning this around is that we have the best player in the world. I hope fans can appreciate that this is a modern-day Babe Ruth. We haven't seen a player like this in more than 100 years. And I think if we turn this around, he's going to be one of the major reasons why. And I understand his position. He wants to win. So do I. So if I fix the winning, then I can go to Shohei and say, you're one of the reasons that we're going to the World Series. Come lead us there. That's my hope.
Good. Right?
I mean, that's good. I would just say something like, also add in there that if it's not Mike Trout that's the best player in the world, he is the best player in the world. And you add Mike Trout in there, so it's the two of them.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
Shohei's top 10, though, according to
top 10.
He's top
Artie
one of the
Moreno
top
is
10
an
players.
absolute mess.
Okay, here's one. Here's one. His radio team is not going to travel this year.
Right.
They're going to do all their games from Los Angeles.
They did that last year, too.
Yeah. So this is what he said about that. He said, "We don't find it effective to travel 40 or 50,000 miles during the season when it doesn't change the experience."
Well, obviously I'm a little biased there. It absolutely changes the experience. The year the Lakers won the title, I did all the games from here. I did them in studio because that was COVID.
Right.
Now we're back in the arenas. It makes a world of difference. And it's a red herring that he says we don't think traveling these guys 40 or 50,000. The plane is going without the radio announcers.
Right.
They're empty
They're
seats on that
already
plane.
traveling, yeah.
Yeah, the plane is going. Basically, this is the cost of a hotel room, Artie. And if you care about your fans and you want to attract the best broadcast talent, you want good announcers, you're not going to operate like a minor league team. I watched Bull Durham yesterday. They used to sit in a studio and make sound effects like they'd knock on the... I mean, they were going back to that. No, that's an easy thing. What I would have said with that is that's an easy thing to fix, and I'm happy to look into it. And there is a difference when you have announcers in the stadium versus back at home, and we'll see if we can get that right.
Okay, here's the last one, and this one's scary. If you're an Angels fan.
The other ones weren't scary if you're an Angel fan?
This one's the worst.
Oh, God.
Okay. He was asked if he's spoken to Ohtani about his future. His answer? We have not.
No.
We
That's
have
it?
not. That's it. We have not. He has not spoken. The Angels have not spoken to Shohei Ohtani about his future, according to Artie Moreno.
Yeah, that's just negligence.
So long, farewell. And goodbye.
Okay, you know how to answer that question?
What?
It's priority one, literally. There is nothing more important to me than making sure Shohei Ohtani knows that he is the face of our franchise and we want him to be a part of this moving forward. Now, of course, it's up to him. He's a free agent coming up, and if he wants to go to free agency, he's earned it. But the advantage I have is I can talk to him now.
Right.
And so I talk to him once a week, and I let him know how much he's appreciated, how much we love having him here, how much our fans love having him here, and how we will make a competitive offer and leave no stone unturned in an attempt to keep him as an Angel for life. Now, he can still go.
Yeah.
I'm not being naive here, but it's not going to be for lack of me trying. I talk to him every week.
So long, farewell. It's
really
so
is true, though.
They've not spoken a word to him about his future.
I mean,
how did they not? I mean, you make an offer. Put something in front of him. Say $550 million, $600 million. Shohei, what's it going to take?
What is his plan then? If this is your plan of not talking to him at all before the season, this is kind of like what happened with Trey Turner, by the way. They didn't talk to him because Scott Boras clients don't actually talk, or it wasn't Scott Boras. He's a CAA client.
Yeah.
Either way, he doesn't talk about his contract in the season. If he's not going to talk about it, then you got to move him.
Right.
You got to do it now.
I think the trade deadline's fine. I don't think you're going to get much more now than you would during
the
season.
But all three of us agree that
he's gone.
No, I think now makes a difference.
All three of us agree that you have to trade him.
You have to
right?
trade him. Yeah.
If he turns down the offer Mason is talking about, the $550 million, whatever the Godfather offer is, you have no other option than to get what you can for him. You can't let him walk and get nothing.
Well,
so what's going to happen? And why? If you're Shohei Ohtani,
by the way, this exact same thing just played out with Juan Soto.
Well, they traded him a year early, so they got more value.
They got 2 years of him though under contract.
People think everybody's going to kill the Nationals for trade. The Nationals didn't get killed for that. Then everybody said they offered him a deal. He said no. They did what they had to do.
They offered him a very generous deal, a very good deal.
But if you're Shohei Ohtani, why are you going to now try and help Artie Moreno and the Angels?
One word is the answer: money.
Well, but he's going to get money no matter what he does.
Yeah, but that's why you overpay to keep
What do you mean?
him.
Why he's not going to help them?
But why? Like, why would he try and help them at all at this point?
Well, he's going to go out and play.
Well, no, he's going to go out and play, but it's also like I don't know. I mean, why would you? I don't know.
If the Angels are 10 games over 500 at the trade deadline, I think you keep him.
Oh, well, then you're going to lose him for nothing.
Yeah, but you got a chance to make a run. You got a chance to make a run.
You just have to trade him.
Greg, I'm with you.
Yeah.
No matter what, you have to trade him.
Well, you can't. The doomsday scenario, and Mace, your plan leaves you open to this, is that the season ends. He's a free agent next year. He walks, and you get zipped. You can't let him walk for nothing. That's
even if you've got a chance to win the World Series.
You can't. I mean, he's too good. You can't. Yeah, I mean,
I say go for the World Series.
You think of what you could get for him.
Yeah, I say go for the World Series.
Yeah. Well, this is the debate.
Yeah,
that they're having in those
internal
offices.
And in a related story, why haven't the Dodgers opened up conversations with Julio Urias?
Well, do we know that for sure that they haven't?
It's not been reported.
It has
that
not
they
been
have.
reported, but we don't know.
We've heard reports of grumbling.
When next week, let's get Plunkett on one day, and he'll know.
Yeah,
he'll know if they've talked to him. But the Dodgers are a little bit weird in that regard. They let Trey Turner just walk. They let Corey Seager walk. I mean, I know it was for a lot of money in both cases, but they made no attempt to keep Seager or Trey Turner. They just said,
but they're in the running for a World Series every year with those guys. So
right.
You can't
sure
trade
they are,
them.
but at this
you
point,
couldn't trade them. Trey Turner.
Your number one starter is going to be a free agent after the year. Why are you not making a move to try to sign him right now?
I totally agree. I think he's in the same situation as Shohei Ohtani, and if he decides that he doesn't want to be here, and you offer him something at the trade deadline, I move him.
You would trade Shohei? Or
no, I would trade Julio Urias if I'm not going to get anything for him, because he doesn't want to be here. If he says, I'm not going to take any deal from you and I don't want to be here, then yes, I try and get something. He's the best pitcher on the team.
You would trade you're saying the Dodgers would trade their number one starter in the middle of the season when they're always trying to make a run.
I don't think they will either, but I think you would. It's the same thing. If you're not going to get anything for him, you might as well try and move him because you're going to get something.
Joel on Twitter, this is a hard question. Okay, but you have to answer it.
Okay.
Your favorite team has to be owned by one of these two people for the next 10 years.
Got it.
Artie Moreno or Frank McCourt.
I mean, we got to go down the drain no matter what.
Yeah,
so.
we got to take Artie, right?
Yeah, I got to take Artie. At least he'll pay. At least he's got money. He has paid for guys.
Well, Frank has money now.
Yeah, he's got parking lot money.
No, and remember he got.
Oh, he sold the team.
Guggenheim gave him like $2 billion.
Yeah, that's right. All right, coming up next, brand new movie that I'm really excited about. There are reviews out. I've seen the trailers. The commercials have been on during games and stuff. Plus, who would you want to play your mom in a movie? That's coming up next. Mesa in Ireland, 7:10 a.m. Raining out there. Be careful, you people. Be careful. We need all you guys listening. All right, so the brand new movie. Did you see the brand new movie? It's called.
I haven't seen it. Have you been
Air?
offered a chance to see it?
I did get a screener.
Have you watched it yet?
Not yet.
All right. Can you get me a screener?
No, you're not a big enough.
I don't have a podcast.
No, you don't have a podcast. So, I'll certainly get it for you. So, Air is the story of Michael Jordan winding up with Nike. And it's directed by Ben Affleck. It stars Ben Affleck as Phil Knight. It stars Matt Damon as Sonny Vaccaro. And it stars Jason Bateman as Jordan's agent. Would that be?
I'm not sure, but I love Jason Bateman.
He's great. And then Viola Davis plays Michael Jordan's mom.
Well, in regards to that, so they're getting ready to make this movie about Michael Jordan signing with Nike and how it changed the shoe industry forever. And Ben Affleck is one of the writers, one of the producers, and he says, if I'm going to make this movie, I want to meet with Michael Jordan.
Yeah. Ooh.
And Jordan says, all right, you got to come to me on this date. He comes to me, and Ben said, we don't think anyone can play you.
Yeah.
We think you're too iconic. So you're not going to be in the movie. It's going to be it's all the people around you that got this deal done.
Right.
And Jordan goes, I'll give you my blessing with one condition. You have to get Viola Davis to play my mom.
Ooh.
And Affleck said, well, she's like my favorite actress of all time. She might be too big for this. I don't know if she'll do it. And he goes, if you get her, I'm on board helping you guys out. And they told Viola that story, and she goes, I'm in. So Viola plays Dolores Jordan in the movie.
Fantastic.
Which means
she got winner. She just got her Grammy. She's now officially a EGOT winner.
Yeah, and Affleck, I saw an interview with Affleck, and he was talking about how to him, she's like the best actress he's ever seen.
Yeah.
He just loves her.
Oh, she's unbelievable.
And so he was in awe that he got to do it with her.
And so the movie is supposed to be great. It's coming out this month, I think. Do you have a date there, Bergman? Producer guy?
It's coming out soon.
By the way, John Wick comes out Friday.
Yeah. No kidding. This is 3 or 4?
This is 5. No,
4.
4. Yeah, 4. Oh, God, this movie.
Release date is April 5th.
April 5th, so it's coming up fast.
And it'll be a spin-off for John Wick's wife.
No.
Yeah. I read something.
They're going to spin off John Wick's wife into her own universe?
Yeah.
Wow.
And he's going to be part of it at some point.
Well, you know who was in the last one? Boban.
Yeah, but
he gets killed with a pencil.
No, gets killed with a library book.
Oh, I thought
he's in a library.
Oh God, it came out 6 years ago.
I've never seen it.
It's the very first sequence in John Wick 3.
Yeah, it's like 2 minutes into the movie.
He's in a library and he takes the book and just shoves it down his throat.
Well, don't tell me all the details.
Well, I mean, you really going back and watching John Wick 3?
I haven't seen John Wick 1, so.
Well, you know, there's an issue with John Wick 1.
I can't. I walked out.
Really? Oh.
They kill his dog.
Yeah. And you know what kind of dog? It was a baby beagle, and I had a young beagle at that point.
Even in the name of artistic filmmaking, you can't be killing dogs.
But that was the whole reason he went on his killing spree.
Yeah.
Was to avenge his baby dog. But I couldn't get by the baby dog.
Yeah, you can't. You have to show it.
Did they show it?
Yeah.
No. Well, yeah. I mean, it was
sort of.
It's not implied. It's actually seen.
I would say implied.
More than implied.
More than implied.
Yeah.
A notch above implied. So Viola Davis is going to play Michael Jordan's mom. The question is, who would you want to play your mom if they were making a movie about you?
All right, this one's easy for me.
Okay.
Jane Fonda.
Jane Fonda looks fantastic.
Yeah.
She looks.
Yeah, my
really
mom
good.
looks really good for her age. Kind of looks like Jane Fonda. That's who I'd pick. How about you? Who plays Donna?
Cher.
Oh, perfect. And Donna would love it.
Oh yeah. Cher as
Bergman,
Donna
who plays
Machanski.
Jan.
It's between two. I'm trying to decide which one. I think it's either Sally Field.
Yeah,
that's a good
she's
choice.
a good choice.
Or Goldie Hawn.
Oh, well, what color is Jan's hair? Is she a blonde?
Like a darker color. So Sally Field, probably.
Sally Field, yeah. Sally Field's a great.
She changes it all the
time.
time.
Every woman would like to be played by Sally Field.
Yeah, I think Sally Field's the right.
She's lovable. Jorge, what about you?
Mexican actress. Her name is Mariana Treviño. She's in that movie, A Man Called Otto. She's that female.
Oh yeah, I didn't watch that movie. Is that any good?
It's really good.
Is it?
Yeah. Brenda and I liked it. Her parents liked it. It's a really good movie.
See, I looked at the trailers. I thought it looked corny.
No, it's actually pretty good.
Is it?
I thought it was corny too, and then we watched it, and it was really, really
It was really good. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
A
check
man
it out.
called, that's Tom Hanks, right?
Yeah, Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Anyway, Air is being called the Jerry Maguire of this generation.
Yeah, which is high praise. Jerry Maguire. Tom Cruise got nominated for Best Actor. In
Yes,
Jerry
he did.
Maguire,
I
didn't
thought
he?
that was his best performance ever.
You know what his best performance ever is?
What?
Tropic Thunder.
Nah, yeah, Tropic Thunder's very funny. Very funny.
By the way, there's a bunch of politically incorrect things, but that movie still works for me.
I thought he was also good in I'm Jumping on Oprah's Couch. That's the other thing I thought he was great in. So, all right, this is something Bergman and I completely disagree on.
Okay?
That's not anything new.
I'll settle the argument.
Again. Same button, same time. All right, so this is a lady who says she got a legit call from school.
Okay.
Principal said this. This is a tweet. I just wanted to touch base with you. Your daughter was baiting seagulls into the playground with gummy worms and actually caught one, like in her arms. It did bite her, not hard, but I needed to inform you that we filed an accident report. Now, Bergman, your take on this is...
Well, hold on. Don't say the takes. Don't say the takes. Don't say the takes.
Little girl waving gummy worms,
Right.
And the seagull comes in, catches the seagull, bites it.
Right.
Right. And so the school filed an accident report.
Yes.
Whose fault is it, John?
It's the girl's fault.
Yes, it is.
No.
Yes, it
Well,
is.
okay,
Yes,
we don't
it
know how
is.
old the girl is, and for the
12.
most part,
Yeah.
no, she's not
I
12.
estimated 12.
Your estimation is
I'm
totally
estimating
wrong.
12. It's
Wait,
not-
it's
it's
why is
implied.
his estimation more wrong
Because
than
there's
yours?
no
No,
chance
it's
that
implied. It's implied.
It's not
12 is
implied. It's not implied in the
Yeah.
slightest.
I
in
just
that.
read it. It's
No,
implied.
there's no
It's 12.
implication in that whatsoever.
Yeah.
What, Greg, whose fault do you think it is?
I think it's the teacher that's not watching the kid.
The teacher has 30 kids to watch.
There
There's
are
more.
so
There's more than
many
one.
kids
There's
out
more
there.
than one teacher roaming
This
around
girl
there.
waving the gummy worm
No,
around
absolutely.
is at
If
fault.
I'm
Riley's
pro
5
teacher.
years old and she has a gummy worm and doing this, I would walk I would hope the teacher would be like, whoa, 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 don't do that, or see that the bird is coming flying at this child to
Yeah.
come take.
But why is she waving the gummy worm?
Because she's 5.
Can I
She's
tell you
12.
something?
She's not 12.
Teachers are the most underappreciated employees
I
on
agree.
the planet.
By the way, you're talking on a day when are all the teachers on strike
oh, it's the LASD.
today?
Yeah.
I think
LAUSD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they are.
I stand with you, teachers, standing out in the rain, holding your picket signs. The most underappreciated people in the world.
I stand with a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
12.
Hey, I'll meet you in the middle. The 7.5-year-old shouldn't be dangling gummy worms and then be surprised when a seagull
Jorge,
shows
where
up.
do you
7.5-year-old doesn't
fall
always
in
Yeah,
that
Jorge,
gummy
where are
worm
you on
incident?
this?
That's the kid's fault. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
How about some personal
If Maite was,
responsibility?
you would not get mad at the teacher.
Nah,
you get mad at Maite.
How did Maite get the worms?
Yeah,
Exactly.
who gave Maite gummy worm?
Teachers give away gifts for like
You
doing
think-
Oh,
in
no,
class.
Greg.
This teacher
That's
If
true.
the
Gummy
teacher
worms.
gave her the worm, then I'm switching to your
Yes,
side.
exactly.
Well, that's usually where they get it from. Is
No,
from the
it's
teacher.
teachers
If you
never
do
gave
something
me a
nice,
piece
oh
of
come
candy,
on, Jorge.
ever.
Jorge.
No,
If
man.
Maite does something good in school,
They're
does the
banning
teacher not
sugar
give
from
them?
schools, man. What
Yeah.
are you talking about?
Well,
Bergman?
obviously, this school wasn't banned from sugar.
You don't
There's
like
a gummy
personal
worm in the
you don't believe in
school.
personal responsibility.
I do
You're
believe in that.
what you're
but
doing.
not
You're
when it's a
passing the
5-year-old.
buck. See it? There
It's
it
a fi-
goes.
no.
The buck just went right there.
It's a 5-year-old. They don't know
Just
better
left.
yet.
The buck
the
is
buck
gone.
is out the door. You
Buck
just
is gone.
passed it.
Nonsense.
She's
You
not
guys
5.
are
How do you know it's
crazy.
5?
Because she's obviously not 12.
Wait, how did we
What?
go
A
from
12
12 to
years
5?
Yeah, why do you
Because
think
12
it's
was way
5?
too high,
Why
so
do
I
you
went
think
low.
it's 5?
She's 8. She's 8. Done.
She's 8. We'll meet in the middle. 8-year-old, you're
8-year-old.
wave gummy worms
Yeah, it's
around
your
and
fault.
seagulls.
That's
That's
okay.
on you.
The other day I'm watching, this is a great line from the movie. The other day I'm watching Dodgeball. I
Yeah.
was just flipping channels. It's Dodgeball. And Vince Vaughn, they're getting ready to play the championship match against Globo Gym. Mm-hmm. And Vince Vaughn goes, hands in. What's our team motto? One of the other guys goes, aim low? That's it.
Yeah.
Aim low is
Yeah.
our team motto.
Personal responsibility, Bergman. You
12-year-old
you've
knows
taught-
better. A
you've
5-year-old
taught
doesn't.
Riley personal responsibility.
Absolutely.
If it was
So tell her not
Riley-
to bring gummy worms
Well,
to school.
she wouldn't be doing that at 12 years old.
But
She
let's say
definitely
if-
probably would at
if
5.
Riley did it, whose fault would it be?
At 12, at 11 years old?
no,
Yeah.
at 5.
Well, okay, hold on. Which one is it?
Well,
11 or 5?
first of all, how old's Riley?
She's 11.
Okay, if it's Riley,
At 11 years
is it
old.
her fault?
It's her fault at 11.
Yeah, but even at 5, if she gets if you take her shopping and she says, "Daddy, I want to get these gummy worms." Yeah, sure, go ahead. and then she takes him to school and gets attacked by a seagull. How is that the teacher's fault?
The teacher at 5 years old, when she's in kindergarten, should be watching over the kids, making sure that they're not waving
Wait,
gummy
you're
worms
the one
around.
that bought her the gummy worms. How did you
But
think
it's
that
okay.
movie was going to end?
Not with them waving around for a seagull.
No.
Can I just say, random tweet, I knew I could get 10 minutes out of it. I knew I could get a really funny 10 minutes out of that tweet.
Yeah, but Greg, you are absolutely
Not at 5.
Oh, that's ridiculous. You know how hard it is to corral
I'm suing.
35-year-olds?
I'm suing.
Okay, so I got a Laker thing I want to do coming up. Lakers since the trade deadline and where they rank in different categories.
Okay.
We'll do that coming up. It's really interesting, really surprising. It really will tickle your mind. Mason in Ireland said, there are a couple of words that are bothering me that I thought I would bring up.
All right, what are they?
So, my brother, who says he's got a very...
Which one?
The billboard salesman?
Yeah.
Says he's got a very sophisticated palate. So we went to a restaurant over the weekend where you had to eat some sherbet between one course and the next.
Okay.
How do you spell sherbet?
S-H-E-R-B-E-T.
S-H-E-R-B-E-T. Yeah, but there's no R. Why do we pronounce... I pronounce it sherbet, and it's spelled sherbet.
Yeah, I don't know. This is keeping you up at night?
Here's another one. Okay, restaurateur. Do you know there's no N in restaurant? It's actually restaurateur. It's not restaurateur.
No.
Yeah, it's
that would
restaurateur.
have gotten me kicked out of the national spelling bee.
Call that David Slay guy. Put that to him. Do I have the right name?
Yeah.
Yeah, David Slay. Who owns
he's just opening 2 new restaurants.
Is he really?
This year, yeah.
Restaurateur.
I wonder if David even knows that.
Probably not, because I always
know
pronounce it restaurateur, and I pronounce it sherbet.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. All right, that bugged me.
Yeah, I'm glad those weren't on my ESL test. I wouldn't have passed it.
You wouldn't have passed it?
Yeah.
Right, Bergman, sure Bert.
Sure, Bert. There should be an R there.
Absolutely.
All right.
It's not even a silent R.
Why do you guys say buffet? It's buffet. Right?
Well, that's actually spelled.
Stop. Okay, move on.
No, that makes
Seinfeld.
sense
Well,
to
it's
me.
French, so they eat
So
C at
French
the
word
end,
to
you know.
buffet.
Buffet.
All right,
Like
from
at,
Worthy Splash.
yeah.
Based on Ireland
Seinfeld.
and Mason's logic, teachers are not responsible for monitoring children at school. Bergman, add them to the list of people I would never let watch my children.
Exactly. Thank you, Worthy Splash.
Hey, Worthy Splash, there's 30 of those rugrats running around at the
Yeah.
same time. I'm only one teacher. I can't keep an eye on all of them. If your dumb kid is dangling gummy worms for seagulls and a seagull shows up, what else did you expect?
You've got to be watching it. Just like Matthew Pelosi says, I agree with Bergman Greg. If a 5-year-old has seagulls swarming her like the pigeon lady in Home Alone 2, that should be something an adult in charge should notice.
So funny.
I mean, you would think a teacher would be like, oh, that's not right.
Gummy worms. It's dangerous.
The
All right.
teacher's fault.
So, Ireland, since the trade deadline, talk a little Lakers here. Since the trade deadline, Trevor Lane, who's really follows the Lakers inside out.
Good follow on Twitter, too.
He did all the work on this. I did not, so I just want to make sure we credit him. He came up with the rankings for the Lakers in different categories since the trade deadline.
Okay.
So I'm going to bounce them off you, Bergman, you too. Where do the Lakers, since the trade deadline, where do they rank 1 to 30
yeah.
in free throw percentage?
I'm going to say 20th.
Bergman?
15th.
You know, it's not as bad as it's actually 18th.
All right,
It's not
wow,
terrible.
we're right in the middle, Greg.
It's totally middle of the pack.
Okay.
Turnovers, where do they rank?
They've had a couple of bad games, but overall, I'll go middle of the pack there, 15.
Bergman?
Turnovers, 18th.
21st in turnovers.
Yeah, it's
so they
high.
are turning the ball over a lot.
Okay.
Were they averaging like 16?
I don't have that.
Okay.
I just have the rankings. So don't screw me up. Okay, 3-point shooting percentage. Since the trade deadline, since the acquisitions.
This is not going to be great. I'm going to go 23rd.
Bergman?
Since the All-Star break?
Since the trade
deadline, then I'm going to say 5th.
They are 26th.
Oh, wow.
In 3-point
Yeah.
percentage. They're not shooting
the
well
biggest
from three.
disparity for them, too, is not only do they not shoot
That's
well
been
from
better.
3, they don't defend it well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, rebounding. Where do they rank in rebounding?
Not bad. I'd say 10th.
Bergman?
I think higher, 16th.
Third.
Yeah.
Third. Yeah, they are hitting the
Bando,
boards hard.
yeah.
Okay, this is good. Offensive rating. So this is like points on the floor, how many score in a game, all that. Offensive rating, where do they rank?
8th.
Bergman?
3rd.
22nd.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And this one is interesting. Defensive rating. Again, since the trade deadline, since the acquisitions, Rui and Bando and all those guys, where do they rank in defensive rating?
15th.
Bergman?
It's going to be low. They were first for a little while, 3rd.
First.
Yeah.
Really?
They
Yeah, they were
lead
first
the
for a
league
while.
in defense since the
Well,
trade
that's what
deadline.
Darvin's been trying to hang his hat on.
Exactly right. Exactly right. So their net rating is 9th, which is really good.
Right.
Offensively, 22. Defensive, number 1. So those acquisitions made all the difference. And what I hope is, and I've seen some reporting on this, I hope they bring everybody in this group back.
They're going to try, but they have rights too. Like last year, Malik Monk played really good, and at the end of the year, they just didn't have the money.
He was a walkaway free agent,
right? And so he went to Sacramento and took the money.
But I think they got an. Bergman, do I have this right? They have an option on Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt's under contract.
He's under contract.
Right.
But there's a handful of other guys.
Rui is a
D'Angelo
restricted.
Russell is a free agent. Austin Reeves is a free agent. They've got a handful.
D'Lo.
Yeah, they've got
D'Lo's a walkaway guy. Yeah.
a handful of guys that are going to probably test the market.
Hey, do you think that Lonnie Walker should get more time?
I do, but I like him. Darvin is in Mason's stat that they're number 1 in defensive rating is that Darvin looks at defense first. And so if you're not an elite defender, like that's why Vanderbilt and Troy Brown play a lot of minutes. They both
defenders.
defend. And, AD is the best defender on the team. But you'll see Schroeder, you'll see Reeves, because they get into it defensively. The phrase that coaches use a lot is there are certain guys in the league that play themselves off the floor defensively. And I think that's a little bit – if Lonnie could step up defensively a little bit, I think he'd get more minutes. Because offensively, he's a freak athlete. He's a really good leaper, can shoot from outside. He's a good – yeah, I would like to see him play more.
Okay, I got something for you. Actually, you sent this. Cheerleader from Florida A&M.
Okay.
Now, I can't figure out what game this was from.
Okay, it's at a basketball game. That's important.
Okay.
But normally, if you're a cheerleader, you stand there with your hands in your sides. You may have pom-poms.
Wave your pom-poms.
You'll do certain cheers like 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate?
Yes.
Blah, blah, blah. Very rarely will you comment on what's happening in the game unless you're at Florida A&M, where apparently this cheerleader talks so much that they decided to mic her up for a game. And this is just some of the things she says during an actual game while she's standing on the sidelines in her cheerleading outfit.
Messiah! Your coach say you suck! That's what's his words. Take him out of the game, coach! I'm getting a little bit old for this. Ref, you don't gotta take that, ref. You don't gotta take that, ref. You don't gotta take that. If I was you, I wouldn't let him talk to me like that. That was real aggressive. Like, he need a touch. He's not a shooter. He's not a shooter either. 73 ain't made a shot all game.
73 ain't made a shot all day.
I kind of love it.
I love it too.
It's great.
I mean,
she should do it all the time.
She's probably, after that went viral, she probably got in trouble because you're supposed to be sportsmanlike and
blah, blah.
blah blah blah. But I if she was one of my cheerleaders, I'd give her a raise.
Absolutely. I think that's awesome. I wonder if any of the Ram cheerleaders do it.
Messiah, you suck.
Yeah, you don't have to take that, ref.
Not a shooter. He ain't a shooter
ain't
either.
A shooter.
Yeah, you got to throw it to one of the other two guys. Neither one of those guys can shoot.
You know, I know our friend Ben Lyons, who's now doing a show
in New York City. Bonjour Sports.
Bonjour. He has professed that he's a great trash talker. I wouldn't even know.
He's a good heckler. I don't know if he's a good trash talker.
Well, what's the difference between heckling and trash talking?
What she was doing was heckling.
Okay.
Trash talking is like getting into your face saying, like when you're about to shoot
Well, trash talking is like what players do, right?
Right, yeah. You're about to shoot 2 free throws.
Yeah.
You know you're going to choke these, right?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So,
hey, Mace, when's the last time you made 2 free throws in a row? Oh, wait, I know. It was 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And then you just keep walking.
But heckling, I wouldn't even know where to start.
Didn't you tell me your dad was a heckler back in the day?
Oh, my God, my dad was the worst heckler in the world. He heckled like crazy.
So how can you not know what a heckler is?
Yeah, but I don't think I've got that gene.
Yeah,
I didn't get the heckling gene.
I don't either.
I've told the story before. You said yesterday people hate hearing stories.
Yeah, so it'll come up.
who
Mason
cares?
thinks
Just say it again.
I'm just telling it. Screw you people. So we were at the Columbus Clippers. This is when I was working for the Toledo Mud Hens baseball team. And we had a game in Columbus, and my dad was sitting behind home plate. And I was sitting with George Sisler.
I love this story.
I was sitting with George Sisler upstairs, who's like a legendary guy.
Might be in the Hall of Fame.
Maybe in the Hall of Fame. And he was the general manager. And I hear my dad. And it's, you know how in a
minor league park you can hear everything.
You can hear everything. Yeah. So my dad, there's a catcher named Bruce Robinson. And my dad starts yelling, "Hair lip, hair lip." And George Sisler looks at me and says, "Who would yell that at a baseball game?" And Bruce Robinson did not have a hair lip. There was just a totally random
your dad
thing.
was just
No, my
winging
dad
it.
was just totally making it up. My dad was ridiculous at times. Just ridiculous at times.
Well, no, you gotta tell the Darryl Strawberry story.
Oh, the Darryl Strawberry story.
That's my favorite one.
So my dad was always trying to get autographs. He was trying to get autographs from everybody. We were in Pittsburgh, and he was a huge fan of the 1985 Mets.
The 86 Mets went to the World Series and won it. Yeah.
So there we are, and he's got a baseball, and he's with a bunch of like 12-year-olds at the rail trying to get autographs. And my Dad starts trying to get Darryl Strawberry's attention. He says, Straw! Hey, Straw! Straw! Finally, Darryl Strawberry walks over just to shut him up. And when he gets there, my dad says, send Gooden over here. I don't have his autograph yet. Strawberry's like, what? What? My dad was very, very odd. Very odd man.
The apple doesn't fall far from
No, it
the
does
tree,
not.
as they say.
I always say that I found a way to monetize it. My dad was weird.
Yeah.
I am weird. I've just found a way to monetize it. All right, coming up next for you, What's Up, Fool? Bergman's going to throw some stuff at us. Mason and Ireland, 710.
Oh, what's up, fool?
What's up, fool?
Take it away, Carpet Great.
Thanks, Chris. All right, so Austin Ekeler, as we've talked about before, is in a contract dispute with the Chargers and says that he is massively underpaid and relentlessly pursuing a new deal. He is a running back, 27 years old, but also a great pass catcher out of the backfield. How much would you give Ekeler if you're another team looking for a boost?
Well, he's perfect for a team like the Rams, because he catches out of the backfield.
But they're not trying to win.
He's a touchdown machine. Well, they wouldn't admit
I
that.
have been told that the Rams are not in it for Ekeler.
Okay. I'm very surprised the Chargers are letting him do this.
I agree.
You're right, Greg. Running backs in the NFL are a dime a dozen, but not him. He's a touchdown machine who can run for 1,000 yards and receive for 1,000 yards. I'd pay the guy. I'd pay Austin Ekeler, especially when you have Justin Herbert as your quarterback. I'd pay Austin Ekeler before I'd pay Keenan Allen. or Mike Williams. I would get Austin Ekeler taken care of first, but obviously they feel differently. Mace, would you pay Ekeler?
I would pay Ekeler. He's the next best thing to Deebo Samuel. He ran for 1,000 yards and caught for 700 yards.
Right, and he's not a good guy. He's a great guy. I mean, we've had him on the show when you've been gone, and he's like, he's like a face of the franchise kind of guy. He's great in the locker room, great in the community. I'm very surprised the Chargers are letting him do this. If I were the Chargers, I'd sign him today.
What's up, fool?
All right, so Emily loves movies, obviously.
Oh, she seems to have seen every movie there is.
Yes, and she's now seen Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Oh, nice.
7 times.
Overrated.
First of all,
I haven't seen it.
Okay, so in the last year, the movie has been out for a year.
Yep.
She has seen it now 7 times.
Yeah.
7 times in 1 year. How many times is too many times to see a movie in 1 year? And Jorge, you're crazy.
You don't think it's overrated, Greg?
No, I thought it was great.
Nah,
Yeah.
you're
I would
not
absolutely
gonna like it.
see
Did
it a second
I've seen
time.
it. I saw it twice in theaters. I thought it was great. Better the second time because I knew what was coming.
All right.
First time, it's a bit stunning. You're like, whoa.
I'm not the right person to ask this because there are a handful of movies, I can think of probably 20 of them, where if they come on TV, I will watch them even though I've seen them 15 times.
Right.
I did it the other day with Groundhog Day. I did
in
it
1
last
year?
night with Bull Durham. Well, in 1
Would
year...
you watch Bull Durham 7 times this year?
No, but I bet you I'd watch The Godfather 7 times in 1 year.
Okay.
I always watch Godfather at Thanksgiving. They always run it in a nonstop loop at Thanksgiving on AMC.
Like, there are certain movies... My wife loves Nancy Meyers movies.
Oh, they are so gross.
What are you talking
Oh,
about?
they are so obnoxious.
What do
Rich
you-
people, fancy houses.
You're right.
I hate Nancy Meyers movies.
What, you hate the one with Nicholson when he's
yes,
with Diane Keaton?
Absolutely hate it.
Oh, I love that movie.
Something's got to give. Yeah. Something's got to give. I got to get out of there.
You don't like The Holiday? With
No,
Jude Law
I
and
hate
Kate
The
Winslet?
Holiday.
What is wrong with you?
I can't stand Nancy Meyers.
Well, did you
movies.
see that she's in the middle of a big dispute with Netflix? Like, she's asking for $130 million to do a romantic comedy,
for
and
the love of
they told her to
God.
go pound sand.
Yeah, they
so now
should.
She's looking for a new distributor.
Is that the one where
Nancy
they
Meyers.
switch places? One goes to one
Yeah,
place and one goes to the other place?
well, I didn't even know this was a thing until I saw The Holiday, but it's you can put your house on a home exchange. And so Kate Winslet lives in a cottage in England, and Cameron Diaz lives in Beverly Hills. And they switch. Right. And Jack Black's in it, Jude Law's in it. Great role for Eli Wallach.
It's always about rich people. She never does a movie about regular people. It's all about rich people in fancy houses.
Rich people are people, too.
I see why your wife likes it.
Exactly. She's
Yeah,
a rich
she's
person
a rich
in a house.
who lives in a fancy house.
But there's movies you've watched 7 times, right?
Well, yes.
In 1 year?
Not in 1 year.
Not in 1 year. That's
Right.
where you kind of got me.
That's odd. That's a weird personality quirk she's got. There are certainly movies that I've seen 7 times. I've seen Casino every time it comes on.
Right.
I've seen The Godfather every time it comes on. Like those kinds of movies, Goodfellas every time it
There's
comes
certain
on.
like you can't pass up. You're flipping channels. Remember the Titans. It's up. You got to watch it.
Sure,
Yep.
but like if you just watched it 2 months ago, you're not watching it again. You'll
Yeah,
probably
no,
pass
I mean,
over it.
Emily's
Or
weird.
watch it for like a little bit and be like, all right, I just saw this soon.
Yeah, no, that's a weird thing.
I know.
seeing it
Any
7
given
times.
Sunday comes on tonight. I saw it a couple months ago. I'm watching it again.
Yeah, but then, if it's another couple months after that, you're not going to do it again.
Now, Ireland, will you ever watch Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Be honest.
It's superhero.
I challenge you to do it. No,
It's not
It's not
superhero.
real.
All right,
It's not
this is what I'll do.
Superhero.
It
It's
is.
not a superhero.
This is what I'll do.
You are
You're not gonna
misconstruing
like
the entire movie.
I will download it to my iPad,
Okay.
which means I'll eventually get to it. Because on road trips, that's what I always do.
There you go.
I'll watch. I like Michelle Yeoh.
She's fantastic.
She was a Bond girl, and she was great in a Bond movie. She actually stole the movie from Terry Hatcher. Terry Hatcher was in a Bond movie when she was at the peak of her powers.
Right.
And Michelle Yeoh's in the same movie, and
Right.
Michelle Yeoh is the better actress in that movie.
She is great. In
she's
this
really
movie.
good in it.
Yeah.
By the way, Mason, John has Spirited still on his iPad.
Oh,
so
yeah,
don't
I haven't
expect
seen
to
it yet.
Spirited. And he hasn't seen it yet.
Wait,
Yeah,
that's
so
next
true.
Christmas.
just so you
Good
can just wait.
afternoon!
Good afternoon.
What's up, fool?
I don't know if we're YouTube or not, but hey, shout out to my homie Ivan.
Hey,
How
Ivan.
big is?
He gave me this mug. So he
Look
drove,
at that thing. Jorge has a mug that's bigger than he
that's
is.
awesome.
So he
Is
got
that
his
a real
face.
mug?
It's a real mug.
How
Yeah.
many ounces
I
does
have-
that thing hold?
I have no idea. Has nothing, no label.
That's got to
nothing.
be old. That's got to hold
Yeah.
50 ounces.
Something, man. But anyway, he's not a sports guy. So he drove from El Paso, and I was able to take him to an LAFC game. And
He's a friend of yours?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so he drove from El Paso down here. And then he asked me an interesting question. He's like, if you had courtside tickets for any sports event, what former athlete, Hall of Famer, would you want to see at his prime?
It's easy for me because I never saw him.
Okay.
Michael Jordan. I never saw Jordan live.
I
and I
made.
would have loved to have
Okay,
seen Jordan.
so the two people I made Lisa go see in case I'd like get hit by a bus and die. I made her go see Jordan in person, and I made her go see Wayne Gretzky in person, just so she could say that she saw him play both. The answer to your question, and I caught him at the, peak of his career when I was a kid, and I never had good seats. If I had good seats, Nolan Ryan.
Okay.
Yeah,
You never saw Nolan Ryan?
I did, but as a kid, and I always was sitting in the bleachers, like way up high.
So one time I went to see Nolan Ryan in Arlington, Texas. He was pitching for the Rangers, and it was an A's-Rangers game, and it was Nolan Ryan versus Dave Stewart. And I'm like, this is going to be great. 11-10. Final score,
kidding.
11-10. They both got blown up.
Did you watch Facing Nolan, the documentary?
Yes.
I thought that was
Great.
really good.
You know what's weird is the first name that popped into my head, weirdly, was Elgin Baylor. Everybody says
That's
Elgin
a really good
Baylor
answer.
Was unbelievable.
They say he's Michael Jordan before Jordan.
Yeah, and I've never seen him. I obviously never got to see him play. I would love to see Elgin Baylor live. Now, is Elgin Baylor still?
No,
he passed away.
Yeah.
Health fellow, well met, great guy.
Yeah.
Carrot cake.
I would have.
Don't even get me started.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see Julio Cesar Chavez boxing.
Oh
Legends.
yeah, that's a good
Man,
call.
those fights would have been great.
Good call.
All right, what's up, fool?
What's up, fool?
I was just letting you finish. All right, so Rick Pitino is leaving Iona and signed a 6-year deal with St. John's to be their new head coach.
6 years. How old is he?
6 years. You're going to make me look stuff up.
Yeah, I'll look it up. Keep going. You keep going. I'll look it up.
Subsequently, Fairleigh Dickinson head coach Tobin Anderson, who said right before the FDU Purdue game, "I want Purdue to see this. We think we can beat them," and they did beat them. Is leaving FDU for Iona. Who do you think will have the better? Who do you think will have the better move between the two? Who had the better move between the two?
Well,
I wrote that very strangely.
Yeah, Pitino wins everywhere he goes.
I wrote it for you, man.
Yeah, Pitino wins no
ESL.
matter where he is. Matter of fact, he's one of, I think there's only 3 coaches that have taken 3 different schools to the Final Four. Pitino took Providence with Billy Donovan. He took Kentucky, won the title at Kentucky, won the title at Louisville.
Right.
So he's done it in 3 different places. The other guy, Tobin, is just a hot coach who's taking advantage of the fact that his number 16 seed won a game in the tournament and cashing it in on a 5-year deal. But Pitino has the better chance of success.
Let's see. I'll go. I'm going to use all my basketball expertise here and say Pitino.
Perfect. Jorge?
Yeah, Pitino.
Exactly.
By the way, Greg, he's 70.
70.
So he'll be
Pitino
76
70?
at the end of it.
75, 76?
Jim Boeheim, who just retired, is 78. So Rick could still be coaching when he's
Right
76.
about there. St. John's hasn't done anything in quite some time, so them getting back into the tournament.
Probably not since the Lou Carnesecca years. Yeah, they haven't been
Did
good.
Steve
in a
Lavin
long-
ever take him into the...
No,
Yeah,
never got very
'cause he
deep
was
into the tournament.
Terrible coach.
I like Lav. He's a great guy.
I like Lav too. He's
that's
at, you know where he is now?
San Diego.
University
USC.
of San
Yeah, USD,
Diego.
yeah.
That's a great school.
Yeah, they're doing nothing.
What's up, fool?
I always hated him as
Making
the
shots.
I hated him as
Lav
the
was
UCLA
such
coach.
a good guy.
He's probably a great guy. I don't care about that. I saw what he did on the floor, and it was terrible.
You
So-
go hang out with little supervillain Mick Cronin.
Yo, he's great. So
Cronin is
absolutely.
great. Cronin's
I would love to.
Cronin's my favorite college coach in the country.
Absolutely.
Hasn't smiled in 2 years.
And he shouldn't until they win a championship. All right, so Baker Mayfield is taking over for Tom Brady, but doesn't want to be Brady. Well, A, he's not. And B, won't he be compared to Brady no matter what? Can he
course.
actually succeed in Tampa Bay?
Now, you always get compared to the people that went before you. As a matter of fact, it's a really good thing if you can be the guy not to have to follow the guy. A little background story on Mason and I. When we first started years and years and years ago, they put us on in the mornings, and we followed this show, Berger, Prescott, and Schwartz.
Oh God!
And it was a ratings disaster. And we know Rick. We're pretty good friends with him.
He's a great. I like.
It wasn't.
Rick a lot.
It wasn't his fault.
No.
But
it was Berger and Prescott.
It was a shotgun between Berger and Prescott, who'd been together forever, and Rick, who was kind of a sports guy, and it just didn't work. So when we came in, there was 0 expectations. There were no ratings and 0 expectations. It gave us extra time. If you go in following Howard Stern, then you're in trouble because you got nowhere to go but down. So in this case, Baker Mayfield's got nowhere to go but down. Tom Brady had him in the Super Bowl 2 years ago.
You know, I will root for Baker Mayfield. He actually was pretty cool when he was with the Rams, and obviously beat the Raiders. And
Did you meet him?
A really no, but I thought he was really cool. Personality-wise, I thought he was cool. He always made me laugh when he was doing those commercials when he lived in the stadium.
Yeah, with his wife
in Cleveland. I thought that was actually kind of cool. So I'll root for Baker Mayfield. He's obviously going to be compared to Tom Brady, and he has no chance whatsoever. But I'll root for him.
What's up, fool?
All right, I got to turn on my microphone. So this last one is Roki Sasaki is a 21-year-old pitcher for Japan who pitched for Japan last night.
Yes.
I think 10 of his first 12 pitches were over 100 miles an hour. If you could tell him when, he's 21 years old, in Japan, pitching in Japan, what advice would you give him to coming to America and when he should come?
All right, come as soon as you can because that gives you the best chance to monetize your earnings. If you look at the guys like Ichiro and even Ohtani, who stayed in Japan and played for several years and then came over late. Had Ichiro played his whole career in the major leagues, chances are he would be a top 5 player all time.
Yeah.
Ohtani might get there anyway, and he didn't come over here till he was 26 or 27. I would tell Sasaki, get over here as soon as you can. More years you play here, the better it is for your bank account and for your legacy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the process is, but I watched that guy last night, an effortless 102 miles an hour.
Fuego.
Get here.
Yeah.
Get here fast.
I was reading about the process. So he has to ask to be posted. That's what they call it, to get posted. The team then has to agree to post him, and which most teams do if they realize they're going to lose him anyway. And then every team sends in a silent bid. This is how the Angels got Ohtani.
Right.
They send in a silent bid. The highest bidder is then told, you've won the right to negotiate with Sasaki.
Yep.
And they have 30 days to cut a deal. If they can cut it, he comes over. If not, he goes back to Japan. That's the process.
Yeah, man, get here. Get
What's
here
up,
fast.
fool?
That'll do it.
All right, cool. So I'm trying to fill out this thing. By the way, my birthday is Thursday. Are we planning anything?
No, I feel bad. I'm not going to be here for your birthday.
You're taking my birthday off?
Yeah, I'm going to a funeral. But
that's too bad.
So now this is going to activate the time of the year now that I'm just 1 year older than you and not 2, which I know makes you uncomfortable.
It does make me uncomfortable. Generally, for most of the year, I'm 2 years younger than
Correct.
John, but now I'll be 1 year
for about
younger.
4 months.
Briefly.
From April to July.
Now, are we planning anything for my birthday?
Let's talk about it next.
All right, we'll do that.
Should go bowling.
Mason in Ireland, 7:10 a.m. What's up, people? So the station, I guess, does a thing where you answer a whole bunch of questions for your birthday, and then I think they send out a birthday message kind of thing, which is cool.
So what are the questions?
Here's one of the questions. What was the first... Oh, I'm sorry. What was the last song you sang out loud?
I'm going to look at my recently played on my...
1-800-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
Oh,
That's a true. That is so
that
true.
is probably
877
true.
Cars for Kids.
877 Cars for Kids.
recently added, recently played.
I have an idea.
Wild Horses, Rolling Stones.
Or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob.
Wild Horses, Rolling Stones?
Yeah, it was actually a cover by Alicia Keys and Adam Levine of Wild Horses.
That's good.
Yeah.
What about you, Bergman? Last song you sang out loud?
The Cars for Kids song.
Is that really what the answer is?
It's in the commercial all the time, and I sing it. But no, I mean, I probably...
It could be this one.
Yacht Rock!
Yacht Rock. Last one was a
The great Gino Manelli.
No, this guy is
Summer
one of
Days,
the
Macklemore.
this guy is one of the four faces of Mount Rushmore of Yacht Rock. Who is this? You know who this is.
Kenny Loggins.
Yeah. Kenny Loggins in the 80s would basically crank out a hit every 6 months, wouldn't he?
Is Gino Manelli on it?
It's Gino Vanelli with a V, and I think he was a one-hit wonder.
What about what about Michael McDonald?
He is on the wall. He's one of the four.
One of the four.
Okay. Who are the other two?
Seals and Crofts.
No.
Okay. Any ideas here, Bergman?
I don't listen to Yacht Rock.
You don't listen.
I don't either.
What
I
is
think
wrong with you?
I think we're like microcasting to a bunch of white guys in your gated community.
Christopher Cross.
Oh, sure.
Is on it.
Sailing
Yeah.
away.
And then England Dan and John Ford Coley, you kind of got to get 5 up there.
Right.
Yeah, there you go.
Since Morales isn't here today.
What's the next question?
Let's see. There are 25 hours in a day. How do you spend the extra hour?
Yeah, that's you would just pass out. I would.
I'm literally going to write Kodayeska.
I would do a shot chart for my next game, which is Phoenix, and if that one's done, I'd go to the next game.
You really would choose to work with an extra hour?
Oh yeah,
sleep.
well, that's what I'm doing. I can't fall asleep.
You can try.
But I mean, you've seen these shot charts I do, right? It's like studying for a final, so they take a long time to do.
Bergman, what about you? Extra hour in the day.
Play pickleball.
You know, I was thinking that too. I was going to be my answer. Now, are you serious about playing Wednesday nights?
100% serious.
All right, hey, let me
as
ask
long
you guys,
as it's not a Laker game at home.
Okay, so let me ask you guys about office etiquette.
Okay.
That's a no.
I needed ice.
Yes, actually, it's probably a yes.
I needed ice to put in a cup. Okay. I went back to the kitchen and I opened the freezer, and there's one bag filled with ice. And I pick up the bag, and on the bag it says Lindsay.
Okay.
So Greg came back in to you. I said, "Is Lindsay here yet?" You said, "Yeah, she's in the back." So I go back to Lindsay. I said, "Hey, do you mind if I steal some of your ice?" She goes, "Oh yeah, sure. I totally forgot that was in there." Am I a sucker for even asking her? Should I have just taken it?
Well, we have an ice machine.
We have an ice machine.
Do we really?
Yeah. That's how I filled up my super mega mug.
Where's the ice machine?
And it's crushed ice. It's not
That's
like
really-
big
no,
pieces
so
of ice.
so is this. Lindsay had a bag of crushed ice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's all
Really?
crushed
Why
ice
does
in there.
Lindsay
It's
bring
to
a
the
bag
left of the
ice
sink.
when we've got ice?
We have an ice machine
Yeah, to the
here.
left of the sink.
For years. Years upon years
you know that?
upon years.
No, I didn't.
Gives you water
I
and ice.
hardly ever go to the kitchen. Like, I know they got a coffee machine. I know they've got, you can just take a candy bar anytime you want.
No,
right?
no. That's an
Honor
honor
system.
system. Yeah, Janice Garcia, what are you doing
Oh,
over there?
so you're supposed to leave cash there?
No, you're paid with a credit card.
But it's like wide open. It's like
Right.
just
and after
take whatever
you do
you
it,
want.
You put your credit card on the thing. You tell them what you took.
Oh,
and
is that right?
They charge you.
Why
You've
do
been
they-
taking stuff for 6 months?
Yeah, I have been.
Oh, that's.
I thought
But
it
no,
was just-
you very rarely eat
No,
during
I
the
don't.
show. Yeah.
I never eat during the show. Never eat during the
You
show.
know better than that anyway. What's the next question?
Oh, next question. That's kind of hacky. Actually, this is. What skill would you like to learn?
What skill would I like to learn? I'd like to learn to speak a different language.
I was just writing, speaking Spanish.
Italiano.
I would love to speak
Yeah,
Spanish.
I can speak un poco español,
Yeah, un poco.
but I can't speak any Italian. That would be good.
Gracias,
Grazie.
gracias por escuchando este programa en el radio.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I can do a little.
Hey, by the way, Thursday
Mm-hmm.
when UCLA plays Gonzaga,
Yes.
It is 17 years to the day that they had that comeback. No, UCLA's played Gonzaga twice in the tournament in the last 20 years.
Right.
17 years ago today, or on Thursday, actually. 17 years ago Thursday, because they're playing them in Vegas Thursday night around 7 o'clock. UCLA's down 17 to Adam Morrison and the Zags. And they made this unbelievable comeback. But that's not what everybody remembers about that game. It was really the introduction to Gus Johnson. You know, we were talking earlier about how Joe Davis is great in big moments. This was Gus in big moments, and this is just one of the many, many reasons why I love when Gus Johnson gets assigned to a game. This was 17 years ago this Thursday, UCLA coming back against Gonzaga.
1-1, gets the first.
That's Ryan Hollins making that free throw.
71-69. Well, the problem is UCLA, if they make or miss, they've got a foul.
UCLA's down 2.
Instead of making a good stop and getting an opportunity to shoot the three for the tie. Second free throw good.
Hobo Hollins 2 for 2.
They throw it to Morrison. He holds on. Well, you don't want to foul Morrison. You make him get it over half court. You know you got to foul. And a steal! Farmer! Inside! The freshman up! Oh, and they go in front! Rivio! Last chance to dance over Unbelievable! Oh, what a game! Unbelievable! What a game! UCLA! Unbelievable! Are you kidding me? After being down by 17, Heartbreak City!
Isn't that a great call?
That's a great call.
And UCLA had no business winning that game.
Right.
None. They were down 17, and then at the end, like he said, Hollins, they're down 3. Hollins hits 2 free throws. There's like 5 seconds left. They're still down 1,
right.
And they don't have the ball.
And there's a turnover, right?
They bring in Adam Morrison, and instead of fouling him, they stole it from him.
They stole it from Batista on the other side.
Yeah, and was it Collison that made the shot? It was Farmar had the ball.
Farmar had the ball, threw it to Luke Richard and Mbah Moute, and Mbah Moute put it in.
Okay.
They got it into Rivio. Rivio went down, and Mbah Moute reached in and grabbed the ball away from Rivio and landed on the ground, and they fouled him.
Okay, great Luke Mbah Moute story. So Luke Mbah Moute is from Cameroon. Okay. They used to call him the Prince because he was a prince in his village.
Richard and Mbah.
And in Cameroon. So when he made it to the NBA, he decided to start a basketball academy in Cameroon so little kids in his home country could learn how to play basketball. And one of the kids who went to that camp and learned how to play basketball was Joel Embiid.
Wow.
Who is now odds-on favorite to win the MVP.
Yeah.
So it just goes to show you never know when you have one vision what it's going to turn into. Luke starts that basketball across borders thing in Cameroon, and Embiid's a little kid in Cameroon. He says, "Well, I've never played basketball. I'll try it." And now he's Joel Embiid.
Yeah, he's Joel
So
Embiid.
that game, me and my brother were watching that game together in my apartment at the time. And throughout the entire game, my brother Brian kept saying, "Oh, it's over. It's over." And I kept yelling at him to shut up.
It's over.
Shut up.
Gonzaga had won.
Yeah, Gonzaga had won. He said it was over. And finally, when they came, I was like, "It's not over. The game's not over." And they came back and won. And when he did, I grabbed him and I threw him up against the wall and broke the wall because I was so excited.
Wait, and you're yelling at me for throwing a trophy?
It was a
you
human.
Threw your brother into the wall.
He was so annoying about this being over.
Person.
I told you it wasn't over. And threw him against the wall.
Well, another great reason why this game Thursday is must-watch. So, Mace, do you know what happened when they met again in the tournament? They met during COVID in the Final Four.
No.
Now, UCLA was the 11th seed that year. They had to play in. So
really?
if they
I remember this.
If they were going to win the title,
Yep.
they were going to have to win 7 games, not 6. So they play in. They make it all the way to the Final Four. They win their next 5 games. They make it all the way to the Final Four.
Right.
And it's just a killer game. And at the end of overtime, it goes overtime. Jalen Suggs from Gonzaga.
Right.
There's like 1 second left. Throws up a 50-footer and banked it in
I remember this
and
now,
sent Gonzaga to the final where they lost. They
Yeah.
lost to Baylor. But that's how close UCLA came to going back to the final, to the championship game. And so those are the last 2 times Gonzaga and UCLA played in the tournament. Now, Greg, was I right? Were they the exact same seeds 17 years ago?
You're right. I just looked it up to make sure, and yeah, Gonzaga was a 3 seed and UCLA was a 2 seed.
So they're the exact same seeds again this year, and it's 17 years to the day of that Gus Johnson call that you just called. And it's Thursday night, 6:45.
So, Drew, by the way, who's going to guard Drew Timme?
Adem Bona, Kenneth Nuba, and Mac Etienne.
Okay,
you can barely pronounce those names. Are you sure those guys can guard Drew Timme?
Yes, they're all 6'10", and they're all very good defenders.
So after Gonzaga won over the weekend and advanced to the Sweet 16, Drew Timme was interviewed on
TBS or TNT.
One of the many channels.
I believe that was on CB.
True TV. It's Tool, dude. We're on True TV.
So listen to this interview exchange.
Well, before they announced our starting lineup at home, I was like, in 7 straight Sweet 16s, I'm like, we cannot be the team that one out. So just to get it done and not fall under that Hypnotoads Genjutsu or whatever it is feels good, man. But they're a hell of a team.
We can't be the team that F's one up. So here's my question. Actually, Bergman raised a point. This is the second incident where somebody is sworn on live TV. Do you have the other one?
It's on your page right underneath that one.
Okay, right underneath. Okay.
Well, the other one was when Jamie Erdahl basically told the guy, "Don't worry about it, dude. You're on True
TV." Here's that one.
Thing to prove about yourself?
Yeah, a lot. I've been trying to prove this since day one. Oh,
that's all right. It's all right. It happens to all of us. We're on True TV, man.
We're on True TV, man. It's all right. Nobody can find this channel. So, do you think this is going to lead to other guys swearing?
I hope so.
It's kind of a trend,
yeah,
right?
I mean, I think it's ridiculous that we don't let people talk how they don't really talk.
No.
How
it's
many
amazing.
Is too many. Like if he's in a post-game interview, Drew Timme's in a post-game interview. He drops like 8 F-bombs.
Well, I don't
is that
think
too
it
many?
should be 8 F-bombs.
But I think if he drops one, we shouldn't make
a
a federal case out of it.
No.
You know?
So what's the limit? Is like 3 too
many? Yeah, 3's fine.
3 is fine. I think they should cut him at 3.
Say,
sorry,
all right,
you're
that
done.
was enough.
I mean, there are a lot of rap songs that they get to 5 before 10 seconds in.
Now,
you
got F-bombed with Shaq.
Yeah, back then but what I was worried about, Shaq ended up getting suspended for a game after that. And it cost him a ton of money. And so I walked back to the plane and I said, man, I feel really bad that I was the guy interviewing you and I cost you all that money. And he looks at me and he goes, don't worry about it, man. Don't care. He goes, they can keep my money. I'll say what I want. But we did not, as a station, get fined. Do you remember why?
Because it was Janet Jackson.
Right. Later that day, wardrobe malfunction.
Yes.
Supposedly there's a doc, either it's out or it's coming out about that.
Really? Just about that?
The wardrobe malfunction.
I'll watch that in a sec.
Yeah.
By the way, I think the greatest halftime show would be JT and Janet Jackson playing again together.
And everybody would be waiting for the moment.
I mean, they do it cleaner this time, but they would do it, but it'd be awesome. That'd be a must-watch. It's still amazing to me that the highest, and remember, the game was close. The highest-rated moment of the Super Bowl was Rihanna.
Yeah. Everybody wanted to see what she would come up with.
All right, coming up next for you, should a guy be fired that does what we do for being too critical?
It's a good question.
Yeah, we'll get into that. Coming up next. Mason, Ireland, 710 ESPN. I did go puffy. Met with rave reviews. I'm dressed like a normal adult human being today, no hoodie or anything, because we were the keynote speakers.
We were not the keynote speakers.
Keynote speakers.
We were on a panel.
The headliners.
Your boss was on the panel right before you.
Sports conference, and we had the biggest crowd of any event there.
It was the same size crowd as all the other
showed
speakers.
Up. There were tickets.
There were no tickets.
StubHub.
It was anybody walked in could go.
It was really hard to get a ticket. The buy-in price was like
$75. Money's
Sold
hat.
Out in minutes.
What's that?
Sold out in minutes.
Yeah,
Seconds.
exactly. Seconds. Yeah. It was. I mean, honestly, if that tape exists, it is something that should be preserved for posterity. It is like if you're trying to break into this business, if you watch that, you will be successful.
You'll say, I don't want to turn out like those three idiots.
The truth is, when somebody says I want to work in sports radio, I say,
you missed it. You missed the window.
Try another gig.
Yeah.
Try another gig. Don't you think, Bergman? I mean, seriously, somebody asks you, I always say do a podcast, which is good, or become an expert at something, or all that kind of stuff. But
be unique with your podcast.
Be unique and be specialized, I think. Like
find a niche.
A niche, exactly.
Niche, however you say it.
A niche. Find a niche.
Exactly right. I mean, getting into sports radio is almost impossible. Right?
Do you like niche or niche?
Niche.
I like niche because it makes you sound smart.
Niche sounds like you are sneezing.
Niche.
I don't know what the...
Niche.
Do you say croissant?
Croissant.
Croissant.
You do not say that.
I say that. I go to Starbucks. I say I'll have the espresso and a croissant.
If you said that to me, I'd throw the croissant at you.
That one you can throw. Go ahead.
Yeah,
he deserves it.
And as you know, I'm not hesitant to throw
that
anything.
One's fine.
I have a friend that actually says it like that. He says croissant on
that's
purpose.
so annoying.
On purpose.
So annoying.
Yeah, is your friend wearing a beret?
No.
Yeah.
And he lives in New York, and it's just like,
beret
why?
or barrette?
Oh, come on.
Is it beret?
Well, if you're going to go with that, if it's going to be buffet.
If it's going to be a croissant, it's going to be a buffet. Buffet?
Jimmy Buffett.
Barrette?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so this is a really good story, and it applies to everybody that does what we do. A guy from ESPN Syracuse, the big Syracuse sports station.
Yeah, and they're the station that has the games, the Syracuse Orangemen games in Syracuse.
And the boss of the Syracuse station is a Syracuse graduate. So this guy, the boss, fired a guy who had been very critical of the Syracuse athletics program.
Yeah, the boss was friends with Jim Boeheim also.
So CEO Ed Levine said he fired this guy named, his last name is Axe. Let's see, what's his first name? I should have read this story, probably. Anyway, just call him the guy.
Just call him Axe.
Okay, Axe. His show had become too negative towards Syracuse University. This is what the boss says. I had a problem with the content of the show. I am an SU fan. I'm sorry, but I bleed orange, and I'm not going to apologize for that. And I think a fair reading of the orange is appropriate. I understand that we have a business relationship with Syracuse, that Coach Boeheim and I are personal friends, and he's an investor in my company, and I had a responsibility to give an honest and fair and thorough opinion to my audience, says Axe. But he got fired because he was overly critical of Boeheim and the Syracuse athletics program. John, I actually don't run into this. You run into this.
I run into it a lot, and the guys across the street run into it when it comes to the Dodgers because the Dodgers own part of that station.
Correct.
What I have been told by certain people over at the Lakers is they understand that the station is going to be critical at times.
Yes.
They don't necessarily think that criticism should come from me.
Correct. Because you are in a different boat because you're an employee of the Lakers.
But I don't think they have any issue coming from you.
Correct. To their credit, they do not try to edit anybody on the station in any way.
Right. And I think the Dodgers would tell you the same thing about they understand that guys across the street are going to be critical at times, but they don't necessarily want to hear it from Joe Davis or Oral when he does, radio hits, or even Vassay who does that other stuff. The Lakers would say, look, we know ESPNLA is talking Lakers all the time, and we know on days where we don't play Friday, they play terrible. They lost at the end. we just don't necessarily think that should come directly from you. So that's why I let you do most of the harsh criticism of the Lakers.
When warranted.
Yeah.
I also do say all the positive stuff.
Well, I was thinking about you when you were reading that story. You kind of bleed purple and gold. You're rooting for them. You want them to win. You're just not afraid to rip them if they play
Correct.
bad. I try not to, but that's why you're here.
But in other situations, and this is one, where if you've got
if you had a solo if we had a solo show and I was the only one doing it, I don't think I could do both.
It would be the La La Lakers are great show,
which wouldn't work.
Yeah, which wouldn't work. It's good that we've got that counterbalance, but again, there are some stations that have relationships with teams, professional, collegiate, whatever, where the team or the collegiate program tries to dictate what the hosts can say. This guy's
one of those guys.
And to the Lakers' credit, they never try to do it, right, Bergman? Never.
No, they've never told us not to say anything. It's always, as long as we're being fair and honest, that's totally fine.
They
don't like
it. It is a dance.
Nobody would like it.
Yeah, it is a dance you need to do in most cities, though, because everybody has a rights holder, and everybody. I feel bad that guy lost his job, but if he was doing a solo show. And he was going on the air every day and ripping Syracuse, I don't think he can be too surprised if the owner of the station, who's a Syracuse alum and in business with Jim Boeheim, turns around and goes, I'd rather have somebody that doesn't rip him every day.
The guy that got canned says, I had a responsibility to give an honest, fair, and thorough opinion to my audience. I certainly wasn't perfect, but I don't regret anything about the approach of the show. We put listeners on the air. We gave them the opportunity to say what they needed to say. I don't have any regrets.
He's right, too.
He's right, too.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully that'll help him get another job.
Yeah. I think that's interesting.
As long as you're talking about what's on the floor, what's actually happening in the games, I don't think there should be anything wrong with that.
No, I mean, we go hard. We've been going hard on Anthony Davis.
Well, because on the floor, he's been mostly
bad. I actually think that a lot of the criticism of Anthony Davis is focused on what he hasn't been able to do without enough focus on what he does do. He's the best. Like the other day, people do you think he played well on Sunday when they beat Orlando, when Austin Reeves scored all the points?
At 15 points. At no point did I say Anthony Davis is carrying them to a win.
But he kind of did, and here's how. Anthony Davis blocked 4 shots.
Correct.
A couple of them with the game on the line late. And he also grabbed double-digit rebounds. I think people forget because it's not as glamorous. Michael does a good job of kind of making sure he inserts this into every broadcast. Literally, half the time you're out there, 50% of the time, you're on defense.
Right.
But it's not flashy. It's not, other than whoever wins Defensive Player of the Year, the guys who play great defense. Okay. It's a joke to me that Michael Cooper's not in the Hall of Fame. Michael Cooper was the best defensive player on 9 finals teams. Dennis Rodman's in. Ben Wallace is in. How's Michael Cooper not in? I mean, it's because we have this thing where we don't, for whatever reason, we don't value great defense as much as we value great offense.
Right.
Like you asked me a question earlier, where have the Lakers ranked defensively since the All-Star break? I said, they probably ranked somewhere in the middle, and you go, no, they're number 1.
Yeah.
I should know that. I mean, that. And
are you going to use that?
Absolutely. Yeah. Stealing it from you.
Yeah. And I stole it from Trevor Lane, just to be
there
clear.
You go. But if you have a guy that impacts the game defensively on every possession, that guy is pretty close to invaluable. And Anthony Davis does. So when he screwed up the game the other day, which he admits, his words, he said, my teammate showed up, I didn't.
Yes. The Dallas game, Friday night.
The Dallas game, Friday night. The reason he was so hard on himself was with 2 of the mistakes he made, 2 of the 3 mistakes. He fouled Maxi Kleber on the 3-point shot, giving him 3 free throws, which he made 3. He normally doesn't make that foul. He's pretty contained defensively. Then at the end, he didn't close out fast enough on him, and Kleber hit the 3. AD prides himself as impacting the game defensively.
Right.
When he fails to do that, he'll be very self-critical. And I think, on the other hand, we look at, as fans, and sometimes as media, well, he only had 12 points. He only had 9 rebounds. What you should be looking at is, okay, though, how did the guy he was guarding do, and how many blocks did he have? How many rebounds did he have? How did he impact the game defensively? I think that as long as he's doing that, he still can really help you win games.
So I don't know a Lakers fan. Maybe that person's out there. I don't know a Lakers fan who looks at that game at Houston and says, no, it is the right thing for Anthony Davis to sit for that game. I believe that he had to be out there. I believe that they would have won the game had Anthony Davis played in Houston.
I think,
and if they missed the playoffs by one game, that's what they missed it by.
I think that is a perfectly valid opinion, and I think it is shared by most Laker fans. My issue with you is that you think it was Anthony Davis.
I do.
That made the decision
not to play.
No, I
think Anthony Davis could have overruled.
I don't know.
Michael, by the way, says that.
I know. I personally think that it's coming from up top. They're telling him, you're too important. We can't play you 2 nights
But
in
if
a row.
Anthony Davis said,
Maybe.
give me the ball, I want to be out there, I'm supposed to be carrying this team right now. And if the Lakers make the playoffs, it's because of Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
And if they miss the playoffs, it's because of Anthony Davis. So it's either hero or dud at this point. Anthony Davis, without LeBron James, is supposed to be carrying this team.
I think they're going to make it. But, as I said earlier in the show, if you're a Laker fan and you're assuming they're already in, they're not.
No, they're not.
The playoffs have started. We have 10 games left. I think they got to go 7-3 to get in.
7-3?
I do. I think the other teams are playing too good. And I don't think it's impossible. I think they'll be favored in at least 7 of the games. But, especially the home games. They may be... Greg, look up what the spread is tomorrow.
I don't think it's going to take 7-3. I don't believe that.
Okay. But because you think one of the teams they're chasing is going to go 5-5?
Utah's been 5 of their last 10.
Do you want to guess the spread?
I'm going to say Lakers by 1.
I'm going to say Phoenix minus 2.5.
Did you know that already,
No.
Mace? It is Phoenix minus 2.5.
Okay.
Dang. I did not know
the
that.
road. But
that doesn't surprise me.
Phoenix has beat the Lakers 12 out of the last 15, including every game this year and every game last year. But here's why I'm hopeful.
Yep.
The game they played Sunday, no Kevin Durant, no DeAndre Ayton. He had a bad hip. So
is Ayton going to play tomorrow night?
We don't know. They haven't said. My guess is with 4 full days off, he probably will.
Right.
So you just got to find
no Durant for sure.
No
right?
Durant for sure, and no LeBron for sure. So I think they can beat him.
Bergman, do you think that's fair? If they make the playoffs, it's because of Anthony Davis. If they miss the playoffs, it's because of Anthony Davis.
Yes, absolutely. Without LeBron and Anthony Davis needs to be a top 5 player like everybody thinks that he's supposed to be because of the effort that he does on defensive end and what he does as a player, what he can do nightly basis. He can go 35 and 15 every single night with 4 blocks.
Well, if he goes
doesn't
30,
do it, though.
If he goes 35 and 15 and plays defense the way
they
he
win.
is, then you can't blame him if they lose.
Well, I think they win that game.
Yeah.
If he goes 35
Totally
and
agree.
15, I think they win.
But if he plays like that, that's who he needs to be as long as LeBron is out. He needs to be that guy. He needs to be the reason that they win games. Allowing Austin Reeves to be the guy, that's it. You can't do that.
What are you?
John is trying
doing?
to wave at
John's
something.
like, look, get
No,
out
no,
of
no.
here.
I was just telling you to break.
Attention. He was trying to get your attention.
Oh, okay. So you told me to get his attention. So now,
Yeah, it's a game of telephone.
Totally
Okay,
threw
so
everything off
you
here.
told me pay attention to John. Then I looked at John, and John's waving his arm.
Right here, yeah.
He said around what they said.
That's all. We got a break. His game of games is coming up.
I teased this yesterday. I'm going to tease it again. I found the weirdest story about The Rock. Weirdest true fact
Oh, that's right.
about The Rock. I teased that yesterday. I never got to it. We'll do that coming up next. And we do have Game of Games. Jacob and Ronnie's going to be here today. He's going to hate me because it's my game, and it's Name is Your Buzzer. And he
Bergman
hates
and
Name
I
is
are
Your Buzzer.
ready.
This game will favor you and Bergman strongly. And
Excellent.
We've
sucked all month, Bergman, the two of us.
I would bet money that Ireland wins this game.
All right, good. I need a win.
How much money? You said I would make money, so bet it.
$5,000 mythical dollars on Ireland.
Now I got a little pressure on me.
Well, you could also just make him lose the 5,000.
Yeah, you could.
Not here next week.
I can't do it.
That's why I
can't tank Game of Games.
Too competitive.
Yeah, can't
All
do
right,
it.
Mason, Ireland, 710 ESPN. with a double. Now, let's play the Japanese call. Japanese call is fantastic on last night's walk-off. Sayonara! I got that much. Tonight, World Baseball Classic final. It actually starts in 26 minutes. It'll be on FS1. It is the United States. Merrill Kelly is on the mound for the U.S. Versus Japan for the championship. And it has been a great World Baseball Classic.
And it starts, in like 25 minutes,
25
right?
25 minutes, exactly. So, and I'll be watching tonight. Joe Davis, fantastic on the call. Bergman was not a WBC believer, but you've come around.
I am a WBC believer. It's actually officially going to come back in 2026. Is that right?
Yeah, every 3 years, I think.
Yeah, 2026. Rob Manfred today said that it was going to come back. And yeah, it was great. I'm really excited to watch USA Japan tonight. I just don't want to hear John Smoltz.
Oh, please.
Why?
Because he's not good at it.
Well, I think he's okay. He hates the Dodgers.
He does.
John
He
Smoltz
does not hate the Dodgers.
He does.
Are you gonna say Joe Davis hates the Dodgers?
Joe Davis loves the Dodgers.
He loves the Dodgers.
If you put John Smoltz on a lie detector test and said, "Do you hate the Dodgers?" he would say no, and the lie detector test would say he's lying. The Dodgers beat the Braves one year. I thought he was going to fling himself out of the press box.
It really sounded like it, didn't he?
It did. It did.
God, he's just a homer.
So I'll tell you this quick story. And I'm going to get to the Rock thing in a minute. So Matt Burke's one of our sales guys.
Yeah, good guy.
This is the first time this has ever happened. So he had a call with a guy named Danny Bellis from Don Francisco's Coffee.
Okay.
Potential advertiser.
Okay.
And doesn't know the station, doesn't live in L.A. And he said, so who are some of the people on the station? Who are the personalities? He said, well, there's Travis Rogers and Alan Slewa and John Ireland and Steve Mason. And he said, wait a minute, Steve Mason from the Culture Pop podcast?
No way.
Yeah. He knew
there you go.
He knew it from the Culture Pop podcast.
Well, you should get a part of the commission if this happens.
Sign me up, Danny. All right, so weird story about The Rock. I actually have a bunch of weird stories about different celebrities. This is an interesting one. So Dwayne Johnson has always been, I'm just reading now, always been a notably large man. After all, he was 6'4" and had a mustache by the time he was 15. Despite towering above his peers his whole life, he suffered from self-esteem issues caused by gynecomastia, which is known colloquially as man boobs. He actually had a breast reduction surgery. The Rock did.
Really?
Yes.
A man.
A man. He had a breast reduction. Okay, so I got a couple of them. Zendaya. She's from that show Euphoria and from the Spider-Man
she's a singer.
movie.
She's pretty.
She says she watches Harry Potter once a day.
The movie?
Yeah.
Which one? There's 8.
Out.
Wait, she could be roommates with Emily.
She explains that watching Harry Potter is a form of self-care. Don't come over to my house if you don't want to watch it because it's going to be on. That's a deal breaker.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great movie. All 8 of them are really good. I have a friend that does that.
Here's one. Jennifer Lawrence dropped out of middle school, so she doesn't have a GED or a diploma.
Doing fine.
Hasn't slowed her down. Last one. Bill Murray was arrested at the age of 20 for trying to catch a flight with 10 pounds of marijuana in his luggage.
10 pounds?
Yeah. He was placed
How
on
did
probation.
he think he wouldn't get caught?
He was placed on probation for 5 years since he was a first-time offender. It was $20,000 worth of weed at the time in his suitcase.
And they just put him on probation. He's lucky. That could have been Midnight Express-ish.
Wow. Yeah, it could have been. Could have been. So those are weird facts about celebrities.
So if you're traveling domestically,
yes,
what do you do with the weed?
I don't ever fly with weed.
Not even in your luggage?
No, not in my luggage.
So
ever.
you just get it when you get to wherever you're going?
Get it when I get there, yeah.
Okay.
Like most of the places I go, it's legal.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like...
Well, and LAX has a cannabis policy. There's a certain amount you're allowed to travel with. I don't know what it is, but people smarter than me do.
Well, I know people who do travel with it in their luggage. And I guess some people say, like, for example, if you're going to Hawaii, it's legal in California and it's legal in Hawaii, so what's the big deal?
Right. But does the FAA allow you to travel?
I just get super nervous
I would
about
too.
it. I would be like totally afraid it was going to be a Midnight Express or Broke Down Palace. That's
Right.
the other one. Broke Down Palace.
Right.
I wouldn't risk it. I have a friend who says, I've got a hookup in every town.
I have a friend like
Scott
that.
Kaplan.
Yeah.
That is Scott Kaplan. That does sound like Kappy. All right.
All right. Game of Games is coming up next.
My game.
Jacob Imrani already tweeted today how much he's looking forward to this. I think he's coming in a little cocky.
Jacob, I've got bad news for you. Name is your buzzer.
And now, no, look, Jacob's trying to give you the Matumbo finger.
No. Yes, it is.
You better come in ready, Imrani.
But it's NBA themed, so I think you should be okay.
He'll do
at
fine.
It's all NBA stuff.
Yeah, he'll do fine.
Jacob's like, I'd like to retract that tweet I sent out earlier. Mason, Ireland, 7:10.
Already lost the ball. Make a shot, sleep. Make a shot, sleep. Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me?
For Game of Games on the #1 sports radio show in LA, Mason and Ireland. Game of Games. Game of Games presented by CallJacob.com.
Call Jacob.
Everyone loves a fighter, but in this town, winning matters, especially after an accident. So remember, anyone can fight, but CallJacob.com is here for you when you need a big win. After an accident, go to CallJacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. We got the jingle.
Call Jacob.
Thank you. Game of Games time. Take it away, Mace.
Okay, a little breaking news. And normally I never like ever hearing players are out or hurt.
Yeah.
But the Lakers just caught a break. DeAndre Ayton did not even travel with the team. So no Ayton, no Durant tomorrow night when the Lakers. And Greg, I wonder if that'll change the point spread. But
it would have to.
Yeah, right now it's Suns by
2.5.
But no Ayton, no Durant tomorrow night.
Ayton always runs.
And breaking news on 710 ESPN brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change, home with a 15-minute drive-through oil change. Visit SoCalOilChange.com to find a location near you and to download up to $15 in coupons. Jacob Imrani is here. Jacob, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Excellent, man. It's crazy out there. The rain is nuts and all that.
Coming down, but everybody be safe.
Yeah, don't get in your car unless you have to.
So, Jacob,
Don't forget to bring a towel.
the words that you hate. Name is your buzzer.
I think you'll do fine, Jacob.
Yeah, this has been one of those weeks. I'm always going to be the underdog anyway.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
excellent.
I like your attitude.
All right, so Jorge, Bergman, you guys, your name is your buzzer. Ireland, Jacob.
Yep.
Here we go. By the way, Jorge, you've got no chance.
Jorge's loving it. He's laughing at me.
Swag system, Briones. Let's go.
Always. Let's go.
Number 1. He has the highest scoring average for this year's Lakers team.
Ireland.
Ireland.
Who is LeBron?
That is correct.
Oh, that was an easy one.
Jacob, that
You're
was
going to
one of
ask
the
a
easy ones.
Laker question to the Lakers play-by-play
Well,
guy.
still,
Come on,
the answer is
man.
LeBron James. Come on.
He's staring at me.
Listen, I'm a multitasker, but this one I just haven't been able to get.
Number 2, he has the most triple doubles in the NBA this season.
Ireland.
Ireland.
Who is Luka Doncic?
No, not correct. Greg?
Who is Nikola Jokic?
That is absolutely
good answer,
correct.
Greg. Very good.
Jokic has 26 triple doubles this year. Okay. Number 3. This former Kentucky star was acquired by the Lakers.
Greg.
Jacob.
Greg was there first.
Who is Anthony Davis?
And-
Ireland.
No.
Jacob.
Jacob had already buzzed
I'll give
in.
it to Jacob.
Malik Monk.
No.
Oh. Ireland.
Ireland.
Jared Vanderbilt.
No, you didn't phrase it as a question. That leaves it to
Okay.
Jorge.
Who is Vanderbilt?
Yes!
Yeah.
Jorge stuck in there
By the
for a
way,
point.
either did they.
Yeah, I know.
right?
Oh, no, you guys had the wrong
they all
name.
did.
Okay, yeah.
Like AD one and done.
So you were wrong twice.
Yes.
All right.
This team has the best defensive rating for the entire
Greg.
NBA. Greg?
Who are the Lakers?
No. Best defensive rating for the entire season this year.
Ireland.
Ireland?
Who are the Celtics?
No.
Jacob.
Jacob?
Who's the Memphis Grizzlies?
Absolutely.
That a boy, Jacob!
Hallelujah.
All right, listen.
I jumped in too early.
It's 1-1 to 1-1.
Nice.
All right, here we
Got a
go.
horse race. This former Laker sang along to Beyonce, You Can't.
Okay.
Greg was there
Who
first.
is Russell Westbrook?
Who is Russell
Very
Westbrook?
good.
Right, yeah.
Bergman's got the lead.
Sang along to
Sorry,
Beyonce,
Jorge, you had
You
that.
Can't
That's
Break
right,
My
that's
Soul. Number 6. This is the only Lakers player right now who played for Mark Few in the
Ireland.
Ireland.
Who is Rui Hachimura?
Correct. Rui Hachimura is the correct answer.
I knew that one too.
All right, Ireland 2, Bergman 2, Jacob and Jorge 1 each.
This NBA star has the highest scoring average in the league this year.
Greg.
Ireland.
Greg.
Who is Joel Embiid?
That is
Yep.
correct.
Yeah,
Wow.
I got that after I wondered if Luka had passed him, but it's Embiid. All right, Greg, you get the lead. How many are left?
We've got 3 left.
Okay.
Number 8. If an NBA player is hurt in a car accident,
Jorge.
Jorge.
Who is Jacob and Ronnie?
I had to let somebody in get that. I can't do that one.
Oh, Jacob, that's a tough one to lose on.
That's my humbleness.
Yes,
you know?
exactly. Your humility at play.
You should have said, who is me?
Who is, what's the score?
Greg 3, Jorge 2, Ireland 2, Jacob 1. How many
Okay.
are left?
2 left.
Okay, you're still alive, Jacob, barely.
This former Laker had his jersey retired.
Ireland.
Ireland.
Who is Pau Gasol?
That's correct.
Okay.
Tight game.
All right. So everyone, Jacob's out.
I'm out.
Jorge, you need to get this to get into the tiebreaker, and Greg and I are tied at the top.
Here we go. Look alive. She is the governor.
Ireland.
Ireland.
Who is Jeannie Buss?
That is absolutely.
Nice job, Ireland. I was right there. I was right there.
I knew it was me or you.
That was actually a pretty good game right there. You guys were very, very close. And Jacob,
I got one.
You forgot who to call in the event of an accident.
I did.
Do the tiebreaker just for fun. What is the Lakers' scoring average for the 2022-23? No, what year?
This year.
22-23. Yeah, you got it right.
Jacob.
No, everybody gets a guess. What do you think? What do you think?
Okay. I'd say 111.
111.
Ireland? I'll say 115.
115. Bergman.
113.
113. Jorge.
110.
110. It's Ireland. 116 is the correct answer.
Wow.
Yeah, that game definitely tilted. Oh, by the way, you just won $5,000 in Mythical money.
Yes, I had Ireland to the win.
Man.
That will go to see. I would love to have stiffed Mason, but I can't do it.
Yes.
I'm too competitive when it comes to Game of Games.
So
By the way,
Jacob-
tomorrow,
Yep.
Game of Games, this will be interesting. Pepe Montilla is coming in studio to administer the game.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so that'll be Pepe tomorrow. He'll
Hey,
be.
John, wake up. Pay attention.
I will have to tomorrow to win
Yes.
Game of Games.
So Jacob, where are we? I mean, you're the biggest Lakers fan. Where are we right now?
Can I say something before that?
Yeah,
you know,
do
I
it.
spent a lot of money on memorabilia and things like that.
Yeah.
And I recently bought something that I wanted to share with you guys. I paid pretty good money for it. And I would like for you to look at
These are the original Mason Ireland trading cards. That's one of my. I look like Julio Iglesias.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I just look so young.
Yeah.
So young.
I just
Where
had to bring that
did you
in.
find these?
Somebody had them. I bought them.
They're in mint condition.
Yeah, are you seriously a memorabilia collector?
I am. So when I
All
was
right.
very young, my dad was collecting baseball cards and basketball cards
Right.
and stuff. So now we do it with my boys.
So if you could have any item that exists in the world, any sports item, what would be number one on your wish list? By the way, I'm going to do something really cool for you. I'm going to hook you up with. Have you ever been to David Kohler's house in Orange County?
I have not.
He has the largest collection of Laker memorabilia ever, and I know him. I'm friends with him. I'm going to get you and your boys in down there so you can go check it out.
That would be amazing.
Yeah,
That would
you
be
guys
amazing.
would love it.
That would be amazing. I'm collecting everything Kobe, right?
Right.
So, I have game-worn jerseys. I have an all-star jacket. I think anything that is rare having to do with Kobe, I get emails about it all the time.
Yeah, and it was so great. The one jersey I had for Kobe, I had one of his All-Star jerseys for one of the year the games in Los Angeles. So Mason and I have a friend named Jeff Blake who used for years and years worked over at Sony.
Yeah, he's president of distribution at Sony.
And so one day I was talking about how much I would love to go to SNL and see it in person. And Jeff was listening and said, my son works at SNL.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Here's his number. Call him. He's expecting your call. And Jeff could not have been nicer. And so I got to go to SNL twice. Mace has been. My wife has been.
Fun.
So as a
It's
thank
so
you to
cool.
him, I sent him my signed Kobe All-Star jersey because he's a huge Laker fan. And right after I did it, Kobe passed away.
Oh, my
So I'm really happy I did that
God,
for him
that's
because
very
he's
nice.
a huge Laker.
That's rare.
I made him promise me he'll never sell it.
Yeah, well,
which
I
he
don't-
swears he won't.
You
But
won't sell it. That's
yeah.
going to get passed on from generation to
Oh
generation.
yeah, no question. So
have you been watching the World Baseball Classic at all or no?
I'm not.
Yeah, so this is the final tonight. U.S. So you know what's kind of cool is if you're a baseball fan in Los Angeles,
Big time.
tonight you can watch Mike Trout and Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts is going to lead off.
Yeah.
Mike Trout's going to bat second, and Shohei Ohtani's on the other
Yeah, they're
team
playing against Japan, right?
for the title.
Yes.
Yeah, so,
and Ohtani is available to pitch out of the bullpen tonight.
That'd be amazing.
So you could conceivably have Shohei Ohtani versus Mike Trout.
That's incredible.
do you want this back or can I keep it?
No, I got that for you guys,
Oh,
and I got
thank
yours for you. And you asked me what I think, because I do have to say this before we get off regarding where we are with the Lakers.
Yeah.
I will tell you, this is going to show the gut and the grit of this team. At this particular moment, they had opportunities when other teams lost that we could have gotten advantage. We lost. And now they're not helping us. Last night, the Knicks basically, just dismantled. These are
all the
games.
teams we're needing to, like even the
Exactly.
Warriors won on the road last night, which they haven't
Right.
done all year.
Well, when we look at our schedule, if we do what we got to do correctly, we should be fine.
I think, Jake, I said to Mace earlier, I think 7-3 gets us in. You agree?
I agree.
I think that gets us in. I think 6 wins might be enough.
Hope so.
And especially because we have Oklahoma City coming
Correct.
up.
They're
And by the way, there's
gotta
some of
win
these
the right games.
Some of these tiebreakers are yet to be determined. Oklahoma City yet to be determined. Utah yet to be determined. So
And we have Suns twice.
right tomorrow, and then on the second to the last game of the year, they'll probably have Durant. Now we may have LeBron at that point, but there's no guarantee. If they have Durant, though, they're the team to beat.
Listen, if we
so
do
we
our
got to
thing-
get them tomorrow.
Yeah, I hope we're not waiting for the last game of the season to determine whether we're going to get in or not.
Okay, so before we let you go, Jake, we get like 2 minutes. Major debate on the show today.
Yeah.
All right. We need you to issue the final verdict from a legal perspective.
All right.
Young child on the playground holding up gummy worms. Okay? Just playing with them.
Yeah. Waving.
You know, like she's got some gummy
She's
worms.
trying to lure seagulls.
Seagull flies out of the sky, comes, takes the gummy worm, and bites the kid. Okay? No serious injuries, just clip the kid.
Minor injury. Just got bit lightly.
Is that the fault of the kid or the teacher for not keeping an eye on the kid?
So, you know, I've had a lot of cases where you have
seagulls
to
have flown into child's arms.
No. Just supervision of kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. But it's a very, very, very far-fetched argument to be able to say that a teacher should know that a seagull is going to come and is going to grab the gummy worm. So I would say,
take that, Bergman! Take the L!
I respect Jacob Imrani and his lawyer presence and his prowess.
Mason and I
totally
are really
disagree.
on the same side we were today against Bergman. Well, you got to get another lawyer besides Jacob.
Sorry, Jacob.
He doesn't
Let's
want
go
your
elsewhere.
case.
if you would have said that she was doing this with the gummy worms, and here comes 20 kids jumping to get that gummy worm, then that's something that would have been, you as
It's
a teacher.
a seagull coming to attack a child.
She's waving a gummy worm. If the child was just
5
sitting
years
there,
old. She's 5.
Greg, this reminds me. If I'm taking
By the way, there's not. You're making up that she's 5.
If I'm taking a picture on Niagara Falls and I'm leaning over the falls and I fall into the thing, what?
You're an adult.
Right.
Personal responsibility.
Thank you, Jacob. Victory is ours.
Game of Games is powered by Call Jacob. Winning matters. That's why after an accident, you go to calljacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. Great to see you as always.
Great as
Jacob.
always, Jacob. Thank you very much.
Great to see you.
Time right now for Super Crosstalk.
ESPN AM 710 Los Angeles.
KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K256CX 99.1 FM Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger. Super Crosstalk.
Are we ready for Sedano and Cap to join Mason in Ireland?
Super Crosstalk begins.
Super Crosstalk, presented by Coors Light. Coors Light, made to chill.
It's time for Super Crosstalk.
That was a live in-person Scott Kaplan
Yes,
megaphone.
how about
as
that?
Sedano and Cap are in studio. The gang's all here today.
Nice. I'm excited.
Who won Game of Games?
I did.
John.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Because how many do you have now?
Greg, do I have 3 now?
He has 3?
Yep, 3.
It's
Okay.
3,
I still got 4.
You have 4, right?
I have
You're
4.
winning.
I'm in the lead.
Well, hey, Kate.
But I'm leaving on Friday for the rest of the month.
But are you in studio tomorrow?
I am.
Okay, Pepe's game. Come play.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's going to be my last game probably for the month because I'm leaving.
Okay.
Best of luck.
Are you leaving? You're leaving to do NBA stuff, or you're going on vacation?
No, I'm going to go see my mom in Miami.
Oh, good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good. Is this, by the way, Sedano? Is this game, this World Baseball Classic game, in Miami?
Yeah.
Okay.
All the games now, the last couple rounds have been in Miami at the Marlins Stadium.
They have been great. Did you watch last night? That was
I did. We were
unbelievable
watching
game.
it in studio.
Oh yeah, so
yeah.
good.
I mean, the ending I heard in the car, but it was fantastic. Yeah.
We're gonna watch the whole game this afternoon.
Yeah, you
Right.
get that. Oh, that's awesome. You guys have
Starts in 3 minutes.
It's starting right now.
We rarely have any meaningful games on when we're on the air at the time because usually if there's a meaningful game, we're off the air.
Yeah. Right.
Okay,
right.
let's not bury the lead. You walked in and you said
Oh,
Mason is a dope.
You're such a
which
dope.
anytime you say Mason is a dope, I need to know why
Okay.
immediately.
What did I do?
So I heard you as I was driving in.
Dope is good. Remember.
Yeah, I like it.
Talking
I'm on
about Daniel Bellas, who's the publicist and
Yes.
PR guy for the Gavinia family.
Yes.
The coffee group, Don Francisco, La Llave. They have 3 different brands.
Yes.
So you're obviously very familiar with this group.
I am.
Yeah.
They're Cuban.
Okay.
So
Therefore,
I know I met Daniel Bellas maybe right before the pandemic. He found me on Instagram. We started talking. We connected on the phone.
Okay.
He's like, the family's Cuban. They hear you on the radio. There's not a lot of Cubans here. They want to meet you.
Right.
Can we send you product? Literally for years, they have been sending me boxes of coffee to my
So
house.
you were the in.
So wait. No,
Yeah.
wait. About 18 months ago, I tell Steve Mason, Daniel Bellas, their PR guy, is a huge fan of yours. And I said, dude, they've been sending me coffee for years. Can I give him your contact info? He says to me, Mason says, sure, no problem. You never responded to the guy, and now that Matt Burke is going to meet him, you could have had this contact 18 months ago.
But screw that free coffee.
Yeah, no, free coffee.
Right, you could have, and that's what I said to you. They love you. They'll give. If Daniel loves you. He'll get you hooked up.
Slide me his contact information.
I did that 18 months ago.
I mean, nobody follows up here. I mean, I'm still waiting for my
emailed
damn
you.
Fiore crap.
He emailed you.
Did he really?
Yes.
I'm going to search my archive.
I gave him your information. You said give him my email address.
He handed you a win and you didn't take it.
For the culture, because I said to you, he loves the Culture Pop podcast.
Oh, my God.
Of which we've all appeared on.
Right.
The Culture Pop podcast.
I want another appearance.
I'm so
want to follow
I've had two.
So when I'm hearing this, I literally call Matt Burke and I said, "Are you really meeting with Daniel Bellis?" He's like, "Yes." I'm like, I know him, right? And he's like, "No." And I'm like, "Hold on." So Daniel literally called me on my
This is
walk
gonna
up
happen.
here.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
I had to tell you how big of a dope you are because you could have had this as part of the Culture Pop podcast 18 months ago.
And by the way, these are what Sedano is describing
opportunity.
are the best kind of endorsements. If you actually use the product yourself and know,
yeah.
like I go to Terranea all the time.
Yeah, right.
And so I'd love to have Terranea. We my barbecue is from Barbecues Galore.
I get an actual
all
the time.
of my TVs I bought from Isaac at Mir.
Yeah.
You know, and so if you got a personal connection, you got to follow it up.
Okay,
man.
Daniel.
I mean, literally.
For the love.
I can't believe that you don't. This is how much weed you smoke that you couldn't
I
remember that.
I can't be expected to keep track of everything. I can't keep track of everything.
You know,
I have a busy life.
Like what?
I understand, by the way.
He's going home to watch this game and gummy up. Come on.
And you're dressed like an adult today. You are.
How about that?
Yeah.
Well, we had to go to that radio roundtable thing this morning,
God,
so we all dressed up.
changed the world.
It was a monsoon, George.
Oh,
we
I
were
know.
lucky to get in there.
People are so fortunate.
It was crazy
that
today.
we're
South
there.
Bay pretty much underwater. I haven't
Well,
been
but then
there
it got
since 8 this morning.
Then it got sunny all of a sudden from like
did it?
from like 11 to like 1:30.
Well, Dallas Raines, former backup quarterback.
Now
for
it's raining
Florida
again.
State,
Never played at Florida
tells
State.
me there's another atmospheric river coming
coming.
in next week.
Oh, come on. Another one?
But it's raining in the South Bay right now again, John. So it stopped. That was just like a small, like 2-hour window.
But George, I'm not kidding you. We spoke at that thing today. You will not. We really. I think.
Did you tell them why they didn't have any brown people on there?
I
you
did.
ask them that?
It did not
we
come
didn't
up.
think
Yeah.
as
You didn't take
we
us
didn't
for
think
brown.
as guests
take
that
us-
would be the smartest
for
thing
brown
to bring
people,
up.
no.
I think we changed the world.
Yeah.
I think if you were in that room,
You have a
you're
brown
going to
board
do
up,
well.
a technical director here.
I mean, I'm not.
You
booking
gotta-
the-
you-
I'm not booking the.
Come
thing.
on, man. Fight for the
It's
man.
not- I-
Fight for the man.
No, I'm sorry.
Right.
Fight the man.
Yeah,
Fight for the
man.
little guy.
I will
Don't
make
fight
sure
for the
they're
man.
there
You're
next
fighting
year.
for the man.
No, I'm not. I'm not fighting for anybody.
No, man.
All I'm doing is
No,
showing up
man.
and talking.
No, man.
Yeah.
I'm not fighting for any man.
God,
Hey,
it's
you
not
know-
I can't be on a crusade and know who this guy from the coffee place is.
You know
I
what?
handed something over to you. You could have had free coffee the last 18 months.
Yeah, you didn't. You know, I just thought about something. You know, Cap just said he wants a second appearance on the Culture Pop podcast.
Yes.
You should do with him what you did with me. Have Cap interview you.
Oh my God! First of all, his questions will be like 6 hours long before he
But,
gets
but it's a
out.
podcast. They're unlimited.
Yeah.
I have a lot of questions that probably could only go on the Culture Pop podcast.
I'm-
You
Wait,
know what?
you
We're
know
doing
what?
this.
Yeah.
We're doing
I'm,
it.
I'm feeling a lot of love here. Is that
Okay.
is that for me?
Yeah. So
Oh.
you've mentioned weed, you've mentioned gummies, and I told John Ireland that I'm going to bring him the gift of sleep.
Yes.
Okay. We're going to get him
I am
off
so freaking excited.
all prescription pills.
No
We're
more
getting
Ambien.
off of Ambien. Off of it. A more holistic approach. And this, my friend, I have been told by people who have a very hard time sleeping.
Yep.
Is the knock you out, go to sleep,
I'll try it tonight.
wake up refreshed.
Really? What's it called?
The ultimate gummies. It's called Deep Sleep.
All right. Cap,
Nice.
first
Yeah.
of all, thank you.
You're
I'm
welcome.
very indebted, and you have to let me pay you for these. What do I owe you?
Normally,
We'll figure it
weed
out.
is like
Okay.
$20 per thing.
Well, I
No, they're
Usually,
more.
yeah.
They're more than that.
Yeah, but I really wasn't planning on asking you to repay me
don't
or anything.
take- just
All right,
take
no,
it
But now
out.
that you've demanded, maybe like I should up the price, like for delivery.
Whatever
and
you,
stuff.
no, whatever
Yeah.
you want.
Do you
Yeah.
think, George?
If this fixes my sleep problem, I'll pay you triple.
So, have you used this yourself?
I have not, but
I
friends
will give
of
you a
mine-
full report tomorrow.
So it's not an endorsement per se. Like we
If
were
John
talking
doesn't
about.
make it into work, you know it works.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, wouldn't I feel horrible? Like
Even
something
better.
happens?
Like I may go home and take one like 6 o'clock.
Because
Yeah.
Cappy, you strike me as sort of Captain Sativa. Are you?
Yeah, I'm not. I don't take any indicas. I'm not into that. I don't go down. I go up.
You go up,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that's you.
So
Just take one, right?
yeah. So for
Okay.
friends of mine that have like major sleep problems,
Yeah.
they swear by this product right here.
I can't wait.
So I went out
Genuinely
of my way.
excited. Thank you for doing
You're welcome.
that.
Last
Very
night,
nice of you.
I went further south in South LA.
You went down. You were down by Chula.
Yeah, it was further south to get that product for you.
That's incredibly nice of you, and
From
I'm
the
forever
dispo?
indebted.
From the dispo.
You got it
That's
from
right.
the dispo?
From the dispo.
So
Yeah.
it's
Right.
$40
Totally
a box.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
George, what an angel. What a guy. Now, $40 a box.
Yeah.
But when you deliver 100 miles,
But if
$10
you
service
subscribe to somebody's service, they're $34.
Okay, I'll
really?
subscribe. If they work, I'll subscribe.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You're welcome.
He won't fall asleep during the show.
Well, I might take one before the show if you're not very good. But
Hey,
let's see.
John.
Those are CBD.
Wake
Those
up.
aren't
Pay
THC.
attention.
I don't know what they are, man.
Yeah, I'm
A blend of rose CBD flower. Let me see what it says here. Our first mood state product developed specifically to improve sleep. Nature has done the heavy lifting here. No isolates, no additives means the flower's complete expression of flavor, terpenes, and compounds provides maximum efficacy. The calming properties of the passion flower and vanilla provide additional flavor components, as well as the round sweetness of mulberries from the legendary organic Frog Hollow
Bring
farm
on the mulberries
in Brentwood, California.
Oh, they're
Wow,
local.
that sounds like a wine, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sounds. Now, because you guys spoke today at this sports radio conference.
Yeah.
Okay. And people from the conference are, getting in their cars that they've rented,
Yes.
or Ubers. Everybody,
or boats on the freeway.
right? Everybody in our industry is tuning in
Yes.
to 710 today.
Yeah.
Can you imagine all the people from New York, Philadelphia, places like this that are in town today going,
They're talking about weed on the air.
We went to Los Angeles.
Wait, aren't Sedano and Ireland on TV? What, are they allowed to do this?
Right. We listen to the ESPN affiliate in LA, and they talk about weed.
I mean, one of them delivered it to the other one.
But the whole point of the talk was John Ireland kept saying, no, the whole point of it is to take left turns. You got to take. So this is a left turn. And this, by the way, is relatable to people. We're not the only people out there talking about this. Everybody's going to the dispo now.
Right. And by the way,
I like that you're using his word.
yes,
now.
he's
I
taking
like
it
the
on.
dispo. I'm running with it.
I love that you said take a left turn. Now, is that a phrase that you use often?
I stole it from Al McGuire, the
I'm
basketball.
so glad you said
yeah.
that. Let me.
Great
I'm,
Al McGuire.
I'm so glad you said that because if you didn't say that, I was going to tell you this story, which I think I'm going to tell you anyway.
Okay.
Good.
So, Dick Enberg, later in his life,
Oh, the great Dick Enberg.
wrote a one-man play about Al McGuire. And I wish I could remember exactly what it was called. You Google it right now and you'll figure it out in 2 seconds. So it was a one-man show about Al McGuire because when Dick Enberg worked with Al McGuire calling NCAA tournament games, this is back in the old days of CBS.
And with
The
Billy Packer
70s and
too,
80s.
right?
Yeah.
They became like best of friends. And Dick was consumed with Al because Al was like this old school Irish New York bartending kind of a guy. Like his dad owned a bar, and if something happened to the bar, little Al would jump over the bar and bounce people out.
Yeah.
Like he had all these crazy stories.
The play is called McGuire.
Yeah. Now, doesn't that stand to
Very,
reason?
very
Doesn't
literal,
that stand
very
to reason,
literal
George?
title.
Right.
Yes.
And so one of the things that Al would always say, Dixie, that's what he would call Dick Enberg. Dixie, sometimes in life you got to take a left turn. And Dick would say, Al, I don't really know what you mean. And he goes, look, you get up and you drive to work every day the exact same way. You know what? Don't. Make a left turn and go a different direction. He goes, just switch it up every now and again. And it was such an important part of the play McGuire that Enberg wrote about a partner,
Did Dick
but he loved
perform it?
He did not perform it. He had this actor who traveled the country. Right? He was the writer, producer. And I'll tell you something. For all the stuff that Dick did in his life, Olympics, movies, game shows, et cetera, play-by-play, the thing he was most proud of was this play, man.
We should revive it.
Loved
We
Al
should
McGuire.
revive McGuire.
We should play McGuire.
Oh, yeah. We should
Could you
play
imagine?
McGuire.
We should do that. We should do our next event should be, we should really push the limits and try to reenact McGuire. And everybody can be a different character.
That is really the first NCAA tournament that I remember was the year that, I think it was 1977, right? Al McGuire and Marquette won the national championship.
Right, with Butch Lee
and Jerome Whitehead.
Whitehead.
That's the first NCAA tournament I really, really remember as a kid.
And then right after that, Al got out of coaching and went into broadcasting, which is what Cap's talking about. And him, those guys together, Billy Packer, Al McGuire, and Dick Enberg were
what a great team.
Because Billy was kind of like he knew all the rules, he knew all the plays that they were going to run, and Al was just like, you gotta, this isn't working, Dick. You gotta call this press
Al was
off.
like all heart and
He was
and
not
emotion.
prepped, right? He was not prepped like today's color commentators on television.
Right.
He was kind of just watching it all. And at one time, Emberg tells a story that Emberg's voice is going. I've always asked you about how you clean up your voice when things aren't going well. Emberg had a whole solution for how to fix his voice, but he shows up at a broadcast and he's got no voice. And Emberg says to Al McGuire, Al, you're going to have to do the broadcast, And Al's like, oh, no, Dixie. He goes, if you can't do it, I can't do it. If you're out, I'm out. Like, they had no answer as Emberg was trying everything he could to get his voice back.
Speaking of, now, were you ever an actor when you were growing up? Did you ever, do your school? Oh, hello.
What do we got here?
Bigger name on the other line?
That's my brother, Travis, the billboard salesman.
Not Mashonsky, the guy, the pickleball player?
Travis Mashonsky,
Oh,
no.
no. Okay.
It's still ringing. I don't know if you
Which
realize that.
Mashonsky was the
Hello?
pickleballer?
Hello?
Why don't you just pick it up?
Well, no, he's not Michael Thompson. That's why I just Michael.
Trav, we're on the radio. What's going on?
Oh, nothing. I thought you were done at 4 for some reason. I was just calling to say hey.
No,
Hey.
4:15.
Hey, Trav!
I will call you back. Everybody says hello here.
Hi, everybody. Hi, John.
All right, have a good day,
Thanks,
Travis.
man.
See
All
ya.
right, there you go. There's Travis.
Oh, that was pleasant.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Yeah. Where's he at?
He's in West LA.
Oh, really?
He sells.
He was at the
billboards.
pickleball tournament,
Yeah,
right?
he was there on Saturday for the
yeah.
pickleball
Oh, I didn't know
tournament.
that he was
Yeah.
there, too.
Yeah, both brothers.
Oh.
My mom was so happy because it's very rare that the three of us get together when there's not a funeral. Normally, we all get together when somebody dies. This time, it was just really nice.
All right, so we asked the question earlier today. You know that there's this new movie coming out, Air, about Michael Jordan. And when Ben Affleck was making the movie, he met with Jordan.
Yeah.
And Jordan said, look, if you're going to do this, you got to get Viola Davis to play my mom. I love Viola Davis. And so he did it. Affleck got her, and she agreed to do it. And we were talking earlier. Cap, is your mom still with us?
Yeah.
Okay, if you had to pick an actress to play your mom in a movie about you, who would you pick to play your mom?
Oh, man. Okay.
What'd you say, Mace? I say
Cher.
Jane
I went
Fonda.
Cher
You
to
went
play my
Cher.
mom. That would be great.
Lily
Cher?
Tomlin.
Lily Tomlin.
She's like short.
Yeah, would be good. But you would want someone Hispanic,
I mean,
right?
Rita Moreno,
Rita
I guess.
Moreno.
Oh,
I mean, my mom
Moreno.
looks more like Lily Tomlin, but Rita Moreno would make sense.
Yeah,
yes.
you have to have Rita Moreno.
Yeah.
She's
How
the best.
about Julia Roberts to play my mom?
She's too
Julia
young.
Roberts?
No, but
How
I like
old
the
is
way
your
you're
mom?
thinking.
How old were you going to be?
You're the age of Julia
Is this not
Roberts.
little Scotty? Is this not?
Well,
No.
that's a good point. It is Michael Jordan at age 21.
Oh, that's
so the
true.
mom.
Yeah, but you at 21, your mom didn't look like Julia Roberts. I'm
No.
sure, no offense to Mrs. Kaplan.
None taken.
Yeah.
I mean, at least I'm not taking any.
Yeah.
But don't you want your mom to just be like super smoking hot, like just take it to the next level,
Yeah.
like Julia Roberts?
That
is my
actually,
mom.
he's the only one who thought about this logically.
Yeah, you're right.
It's about Michael Jordan when he was 21. It's not
Yeah,
about
you're right.
John Ireland and Steve Mason in,
And my-
in their 50s.
When I was 21, my mother was probably like 41. Seriously, like 42.
When you were 21, she was 42.
Yeah, she's 70.
That's about the same for me. I was the
Yeah.
firstborn.
Yeah, she's 73 or 74 now.
Yeah.
My mother.
So she was probably
pretty young.
Julia Roberts would have been right.
Julia Roberts.
Boy, it's such
hot
a
mom, dude.
compliment. Yeah,
Yeah.
hot mom.
Right. All my friends would want to come over. Let's go to Cappy's house. His mom's smoking.
Yeah.
I had one of those friends who had that mom.
Smoke show mom.
Yeah, a girl in my
Smoke
class
show mom.
had a smoke show mom. Like, no question. All the dudes always wanted to be at her house. Yeah.
Yeah. Or they were like.
And it
smoke
wasn't for her. It was for her mom.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Right.
My mom was kind of a smoke show.
Yeah?
Yeah, she was.
Your mom was?
Doesn't matter. Oh,
Go
yeah.
Donna.
Not any-
Well,
not-
she's 81 years old, or I don't know, 80, something in the 80s.
Okay.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
By the way, you got the circle of Trust Island all riled up because of Ben Wallace and Michael Cooper. Ben Wallace is a 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. He's the only person to win it 4 times.
Right.
Yeah.
Michael Cooper was the best defensive player on a team that went to 9 finals.
But I don't believe he won any of those awards, did he?
I think he won Defensive Player of the Year once. But Larry
Yeah.
Bird once said that Michael Cooper was the best defensive player in the 80s. The best. And, I mean, I think if you go to
He
9...
did. 87. He's got 1.
Yeah, I think if you go to 9 finals and you're the best defensive player on that team, I mean, Dennis Rodman's in the Hall of Fame.
Dennis Rodman is also arguably the greatest rebounder we've ever seen.
Right, but Michael Cooper was the best defensive player of the 80s. Number 1. And, I mean, you can't go a whole decade.
Right, but I think the difference is that he doesn't have the counting stats. For example, like Ben Wallace had incredible block numbers,
Yeah,
right?
great
Dennis
block
Rodman had
numbers.
incredible rebounding numbers.
Right.
Cooper didn't have any of the counting stats to add to that.
Well, we were actually having this conversation that, a lot of people are down on AD because of the game against Dallas on Friday. But what he doesn't get enough credit for, in my opinion, is he's the best defensive
No
player
question.
on the team,
Yeah.
and he affects the game 50% of the time defensively.
Well, we were talking about this yesterday. Everybody was yelling and screwing about the Dallas game, and I said, yes.
The one he screwed up.
The last 90 seconds.
The one he lost in the very end?
He blew the last 90 seconds.
Correct.
But
as he admitted after the game.
Right, but multiple things can be true at once.
Yeah.
The Lakers also shot 61% from the free throw line in that game, and 5 of 20 from 3 in that game.
And
they
Austin,
shouldn't have been in that
Austin
position.
Reeves, who's my favorite player on the team and is the best free throw shooter on the Lakers, missed 4 free throws in a 1-point loss.
You know what? What I've said, Ireland, and Cappy can attest to this. I said, if you're not rooting for Anthony Davis,
George says you can go to hell.
you can go to hell.
Right. No,
I'm with Sedano.
Yeah. That's what he
Go
said.
to hell,
Here's the
people!
thing.
Go to hell.
Rooting for
Go to
Anthony
hell.
If they make the playoffs, it's because of Anthony Davis. If they miss the playoffs, it's because of Anthony Davis.
Right.
This is go time.
That's fair.
Man.
Yes.
You carry this team to the playoffs.
But also go to hell.
you go to hell.
Yeah. Call Daniel Bellis back.
Give me his contact
I
information.
sent him your
All
stuff.
right, I'll try to remember.
All right, tomorrow, Pepe Mantilla in studio
Yeah.
and Sedano
I'll
playing
be
for
here.
the last time in a
Coming
while.
up next, lots of stupidity with Shadano and Cappy. See you tomorrow, 7:10 ESPN.